Welcome back. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from the studios. Now, Ilkot, now Freetong, and we do on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and we partner radio stations them right across the country. Thanks to colleagues them we they try every other weekday morning for connect this program, so people them na the regions go able for follow and understand the conversation them will they get. We still there inside the Truth Week, and they continue the conversation. And on the media, waiting the media don't they do, waiting we hold with responsibility, and today I get big Alhaji there, I think he's saying. I saw that must be the introducing program there. I get big Alhaji there inside the studio. I get my senior colleague them and big man them inside the studio. Don't forget another session of we other female colleagues that we get for joining at the program. I got the pleasure this morning for welcoming at the studio my very good friend and colleague Edward Kagbo, co-founder and editor-in-chief of Engage Salon. I'm sure you don't see Engage, you don't use some of the contents. And good morning, Ed, and welcome.
Morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Ed Nami behind the scene editor. I got my president, Alhaji Manika Kamara, man the fresh every day. You know, from where we president, Papa is small. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Happy belated birthday. Good morning, viewers and listeners.
Yeah, thank you. You know, one bank while the bank with and just send me happy birthday this morning. They say me, then they wish happy birthday. I got the Executive Secretary of the Independent Media Commission, the people that we register the people that we look and say una fit una for go ahead and do media work. My big brother and senior colleague and very good friend Khalil Kalon. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to this program and happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. You've been on there, not only first time this for Kaya.
No, not only first time this
for Canada studio.
Online.
Exactly. And I get the pleasure for welcome my colleague as well and lecturer Putzka Kamara from the Faculty of Information and Communications and Information Studies at Frabe College. Whatever they call MASCOM. MASCOM is the popular name where everybody shall be. Putzka, good morning and thanks for joining us this morning.
Many thanks, Lama. Morning. I'm glad you're there.
Thank you so much.
Again, congratulations on the 1 year.
Thank you so much. So the young people them where they are with plenty. Now demand this way, don't they coordinate and build them. So we are grateful as well that we get a lot of almost everybody now where they practice now from that faculty there for a big college. So now I make we they do better. You know. Good morning once more, Ed, and welcome. You know, we can't talk this morning about the media landscape. I know we don't get that conversation there behind the scene, how the media don't change. Before now, it's just the radio. If the radio is off, we don't get anyway for broadcast. But things don't change. What's in your assessment of, you know, you don't work with community radio. You were at CTN, Radio Montreal, the term where everybody they listen to radio in this country, and you must listen to CTN and waiting at the programs and waiting at the content with the. But things don't change today. What's in your assessment of who side with the presently and the media landscape?
Thanks, bro. I mean, I think we don't make a lot of progress, and we also be grateful for the era we live in with technology now. Mm-hmm. There's so much we can do, and I think waiting technology don't help we for do now for make we unlock the power we been hide behind the media. And when I talk about technology, of course we highlight how it don't support the work with journalists and they do, mm-hmm. how it don't help media outlets and institutions them for connect with their audience, but also how it don't help with efficiency and speed. Breaking news now is very easy for make una just check una facts and get everything right and put an out there almost instantly in real time. this is not to say that the technology will they talk. I mean, technology na this double-edged sword, right? Because the same technology we don't help we for move from that point. Also, been data the city and days where they talk about with newspaper days them. You know, also not forget about now and the community radio. The community radio station days them. The same technology also they present a lot of problems. For the media. Remember, say tell me the way the media, I mean the gatekeepers, right? If you know write on a paper, you know put on a radio, you know put on a TV. If the journalists can cover, nobody know the no button. But now there is this democratization of information. Also, we come with technology, and that gatekeeper privilege we will be get. We not get again. You understand? So so when you look at the technology, don't really push we go before. You look at waiting on don't able for do Nayana truth and several other outlets it's only possible because of the technology where you get now. But like I say, that same technology day is also part of the problem because the privilege where you been get today for be the only gatekeeper. If you know reporter, nobody know they know. If you know writer, nobody know they see them. You don't have it anymore because anybody now, as long as they are connected, can actually able for put out their information and connect with their audience and directly.
Are we losing that to the vogue of citizen journalists and say anybody with a smartphone? I mean, they talk this morning say if you know report them, the citizen then go report them. If before you they reach this, if they don't do video and don't send them wide, are we losing that to them? Or are we still relevant in this age and time?
Very much so. We are relevant. I mean, truth they celebrate this big 1 year anniversary, and truth is not just any other blog we out there. It's a proper media outlet, you understand, and with the kind impact we were not able to make over the year, it tells you something. It tells you that we are careful for use the word say we lose them. The gatekeepership, if you like, quote and unquote, na privilege, and waiting the era we live in now and technology they show we say they last forever. So there's an evolution that is happening, and what do we need for do now for just continue for adapt and continue for living the times where we day in. Otherwise we go always there on the back foot. And if you there on the back foot and you're not able for innovate, you're not able for think outside of the box, you're not able for be creative, you find better ways of leveraging the power of technology for unlock your own potential where you get as an outlet, whether not through by way of audience engagement or just connecting with people. Now the problem day. So it's an existential problem in a way, but it all depends on how you use them.
So audience preference.
Yeah.
People who side and want get the news. Me and somebody they talk yesterday say there are certain things where you can talk about. You see a lot of people they come and can watch or listen. Sometimes you be talking about something very important as well in a national issue. But if you don't get politics, you don't get certain things, they don't care. Is it that we're rushing because of technology and audience preferences and waiting we want for gain with the use of technology? Say we have more views, more likes, more shares online, and that they affect, not only with gatekeeping, but also the content or they produce and provide?
Absolutely. I think that's a very important question. I can like for say we've also been made to be obsessed with the numbers.
Yeah.
We are obsessed with media always about numbers, right?
Yeah.
We've always talked about reach. We've always talked about if they do newspaper 20 years ago, then we'll say what's in circulation. You understand? How much you they print for day, how much you they sell, how much they come back. Radio, then we'll talk about how much people and they listen to you, right? So it's always been about numbers. But then this obsession with digital media, or specifically social media numbers, is unique in many ways. But you can also, forgive the outlets them for their obsession with the numbers, because it's a reflection also of the times that we're living in.
Yeah.
So when then they look you up, then they go check how much people and they follow you. When you post content, you understand, they go check how much people and they engage with that content. And like you say, sometimes that we will get to be careful, and also will get to distinguish ourselves from the regular or the ordinary influencer. We get a public interest responsibility. We get a public interest obligation. So because of that, it's not just what sells on social media. It is not just what brings you the numbers on social media. It is also what is important. It is also what we need to highlight. It is also what you need, and it's not always the quote unquote success thing on social media. So yeah, there's that obsession with the numbers. They make with the rush, with the run, and sometimes it's also very difficult now for draw the line between the proper outlets or the mainstream outlets, if you like, and I'm using the word mainstream loosely, and the blog. Because we're basically after the same breaking news. We're basically after the same events that we're going to happen in the community, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's just that reflection of USA we did, the times that we are living in.
Okay. Manika, the Minister of Information, I think it was at the media cocktail in the State House, we point out, say, the media, SLAJ now, mainstream media, should accept that there is this new trend of citizen journalists now, one, and bloggers, we literally, they do as much as we do. Some even well structured or have more following and more content than even the mainstream media. How do we, also we distinguish, who that they look at, say, a professional person where now a member of SLAJ could be a member of SLAJ. Because when anything happen, you go hear that complaint. Then journalists them. Now if other citizens have got issue, he report something, they all like go CID. SLAJ don't they say nothing. Who's like SLAJ they? Who's they do the distinction with this conversion, like Edward said, technology and also following the likes and the numbers.
And let me make this very clear. The bloggers then they are, and then they for stay. There is no way we will do away with them.
Exactly.
So that one day, whether we accept or not, they are here already. So in the issue of where we draw the distinction, firstly, where somebody they apply for be a member of SLAJ, you for belong to a registered media outlet where register with the Independent Media Network, when they regulates the media.
Independent Media Commission.
Yes, Independent Media Commission, where they regulates the media. And also, if you're not a journalist, practice journalist, where freelance, for as long as we don't know you and we know you track record, we can able register. Because if you're not freelance, but you forget some connection with the Ministry of Information, because just if you're not freelance, you just move any career, say you're not a journalist, you do anything you want to do. Because like you say, where they arrest any journalist, whether they're a SLAJ member or not, all I'm going to be say, hey, President, they don't detain journalist for what he talk or what he say, they don't invite and go na CID. SLAJ must put much there because you get for do with press freedom. And what one way SLAJ stand for, now for press freedom. The area with brothers and sisters and where they do the blogging, there was a time, I already discussed just with the outside. There was a time in 2022 where we will get some support for trained bloggers. And we'll be extend invitation to so many of them. Unfortunately, less than 5 show up. The rest say they don't want to disclose their identity. So personally, by then I began to engage some of them. I say, this thing, you don't survive this business. If in a business you want to, where they disguise you, they hide yourself. I say, when you establish this platform here, so people don't know you, they see the content where they make. You will make money out of it. But if they hide, you will get the following, but you know they get the money. Nobody want to do business with you. When you set up a well-structured place, people that know you, they know exactly how this person will be in this thing. Then go serious if for do business with you. For example, look like Sarah Kale, that be a mainstream journalist, very good journalist. And there are some points where they work in a State House, and after which it gets in blog professionally. When you watch in blog, you look all around them, you will see some difference. We get other bloggers who do extremely well. I know we shy away from that, but we get some again when they do well, just like some of the mainstream journalism. We get one back again where they fall short.
But what's happen with them? The one who they hide their identity or the one who then sabi safe. When it happen, if they get issue na CID or with anybody, it comes back to them.
they don't always blogger for this thing. You know, sometimes yes, you get for do with press freedom, but
exactly. Where do we draw the line?
issue
Who
we get-
do we dey defend? Is it press freedom or just members of SLAJ?
Free speech.
Free speech, sorry.
yeah,
Free speech or just members of SLAJ?
This thing a very tricky question. This one, firstly, we dey protect we members them because anything wey happen, you get for belong somewhere. Where you belong, you get 100% protection. When you not a member, yes, we dey for as long as what you say get for do with free speech. For as long as what reckless thing you say, because some people because you get that space, they just go ahead and publish anything against somebody. You know, fact check. You not get any contact with the person. Call the person for cross-checking. This thing wey I see. Na true or not true. It's just because they post them, say na blogging. That one day on, what the only part one day we know the goodie. Because one thing we promote professional journalism, not to reckless journalism. Even the mainstream journalism, before you go post something way not to true something way not get for do professionalism, we know the goodie. Because one day if we begin encouraging thing and day, it will come back to we. As I talk, so we get a campaign we don't mount on this standalone chapter for press freedom. That one is not a new thing. In fact, a part of the late Justice Kawan recommendations, they under chapter 5, we recommend say there should be a standalone chapter on freedom of expression and the press.
They know actually.
Yeah, that one day, that's something we go for. Take very serious. They call on the government. Let them know say the recommendation will be there. Where they part of them.
Yeah, because you see that they remind themselves. That one been
let them just focus on the things they go for the elections.
Yeah.
Let them be reminded say this again a recommendation where Justice Kawan may do during that consultation we do, and a reference the TLC where the TLC we talk say free speech na life and the lifeline of democracy. So therefore, consider one again for a
and free speech is not, look, forget and clear, free speech is not just about journalism.
See, these are the problem. This way, see, the one they will explain because this will campaign, and one use this opportunity for appreciate truth media and not a bit as the way they play that with jingle, where with the on this campaign also.
Who started for sending invoice?
We were talking about one day. Thankfully, you know, registered and paid up and committed SLAJ member.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for that one day. We do every money, at least except the jingle. It gets for do with we as citizens, even the politicians. Interestingly, when I squeeze them, we started to go that space day.
Yeah.
We will talk. So let them help we follow. We protect that space day. Let not shrink that space day for we. But that space day, if president they say waking up morning, all the media houses and they get the station when newspaper, all they pressing them. But let's just pack and go. Let no say no mommy, something to go on because it's impossible.
Yeah. If
We
I
must
get
get
people
people only to account.
Yeah.
Go now post office this morning right now. You go check. If you get 30 newspaper come out, at least 15, they will blast. Now that one they call democracy. We want to see things the same way. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So any government where you suppress the opposing views them, you fail.
I'll come back to you, Alhaji. Before I come to the regulator, Kali, let's talk to the person where actually they train the journalism. We're responsible for train we and just say you get professional journalism. Edward just talked about technology, how things don't change. And for lay people and when they come into the practice, understand, say things don't change, and at this you get forward, you need to get the training. Putka, I want to ask, with what's in the happen now, how the education system as well, una way they train journalists them, they change with the new trend, for give journalists them the right tools as then they can for can practice, they able coming, not so the one way then they find and difficult again from waiting and they learn to waiting and they can see now the studios or even the newsroom.
Okay, many thanks. Like how you say, for trained journalists, them form part of waiting we they do at the university, being that the Faculty of Communication, Media and Information Studies, they in charge of them thing and they. But perhaps one thing where we get for make very clear another fact say, you not a study this thing and say now one way you want for go. In the university system, we would always talk about the theories and the practicals. So for example, before any students they graduate at the faculty, there's a mandatory internship program where it constitutes waiting with a score you before you graduate. under that internship day, now more or less a job experience program. All way till you don't study from the time where you start, till to the time where you graduate in your final year, you dey go showcase an a media institution or another institution as the case may be, because it's not just about training journalists. Various things, public relations, marketing, development, communication, and all that thing there. Now, when you look at this concept of citizen journalism, I feel like it's a matter of choice. The president, they talk, say they invite bloggers them, some are not even sure. Wait till you say, then get another understanding of what they want to do. Now, perhaps we get for make them very clear that whilst freedom of expression and of the press now a fundamental human rights, not to just for journalists and for all man, we also get for no say all man get for be responsible. I see a lot of backlash each time a journalist makes a mistake, for example. We are mortal man them. I know they expect any of we students them for do certain mistake where some man when a blogger go do. But then even when they tend for do them mistake, then there is always room for regulation. We get IMC, for example. Interestingly, in this country, even as we speak, we get journalists the way they practice. We don't even know it in an IMC. Not to talk about bloggers. We don't want for know what makes SLAJ day in existence, for example. So this boils down to the fact that we all get a responsibility. Each time I talk about these things, I always talk about the duty to self and the duty to society. Let we forget about SLAJ, let we left IMC, let we left with media institution them. Let us talk about our individual selves. Waiting you they do, we're not correct. Why you really want for continue for do them thing and day? And why do you have to do something where we always talk about disrupting public peace, public safety, public morality. There are certain things that if we go on Facebook now, you not go on for play and truth media. Largely because it contravenes certain codes of conduct.
Yeah.
You get people that when are members of SLAJ, we don't even know say SLAJ get a code of conduct for their own self. You get people that when are journalists them, we don't even know say there is an IMC code of practice. So it goes beyond just targeting the bloggers. I think it's about public education for everybody, because in the end, I would always say what is right and what is wrong is wrong. So we get a responsibility for go beyond even the classroom where we did at the college, come down to outside with the practice for understand say there are things we have to understand. And this thing it not two ways. I would always say there has to be a blend between the theories and the practices. You know go tell me say you not theory no more you sabi. You don't know the practical. And in like manner, you know go say you the practice, you don't understand the fundamentals, when are the basics. So it's a two-way thing, and I think so we all get a responsibility for understand this, for move this conversation.
Everybody now, that's the good thing this morning, went through that don't go through that faculty day, and I'm sure things don't change. I remember I go na the ground floor the last time. I see Edward there, then cupboard them. The city. I take photo of I said, all man in name the day.
Put at a museum now.
It's still everybody named the day. So I'm sure things don't change. With the trend and the technology we had what they talk about, how the faculty self they try for ensure say. Then journalists say away on the thing. There are new, modules, new courses, as well, where on the add to it in, then they learn whether it's the theoretical part of it and the practical side of it. So when they can down, they already understand, say, I know how to, converge or how for broadcast online, not only sitting in a radio, but I for understand, say, I'm being watched on TV as well. Asabi have for use Premiere Pro, Adobe, and all that. How the faculty they do that?
Now na a mandatory program, and just for clarifications, now the way we get mass communication, all man they do the same thing. Now, of course, na a faculty we get various departments there. So, for example, on the aspect of broadcasting, we get a standalone department for journalism and media studies. Inside there, you get broadcast media and print media. Everybody where they do broadcast media, now a must for going to the practicals in terms of radio and television production. We have lecturers teaching them waiting for do where you did at the field. Editing, aside from Premiere Pro, all of the software, because in the end, journalism now, not to lecture the way we go say we are the sole gatekeepers. Now we know say everybody get the ability for set the agenda. What did they distinguish, among we all, now the professional content where we they put out. So if you speak development communication, you speak public relations and marketing communication, all of these departments get standalone professionals where they train all of the students. And one thing we very clear now that the fact say, almost the rest of salon, hardly would you go to any media institution where you not go meet a graduate from mass comm or even with current students there. Whether they tell you, say, these are the people where they're in the field now. And it's not a vacuum. It's a blend of waiting they don't learn over the years. We were they teach now the faculty now because now they we study. We don't learn over the years. All waiting that we don't teach. So it's more or less a recreation of the activity. So in the end, the responsibility lies with the individual. Not to all things we they teach you at the university. Just like how we were they teach there now. Not to all the way they teach there now. We study there. In the end, that extra effort they get for matter, because you cannot shy away from the fact that this global village philosophy now it's trend now. Everybody will get access to internet. You can then you also learn about almost every other thing where they happen at the world. So that extra effort there is needed, and this is something they do not shy away. Whether not broadcast, whether not print, whether not PR, DEFCOM, multimedia, these are things they get to do because it form part of the curriculum, because it's a
you know what we're taught is now we the gatekeeper, you know, you mentioned something about that. I just want to follow up and ask you quickly. You agreeing that we're losing that, we lost that as a media, that theory they and that idea they will get say now we are the gatekeepers, we're losing that, we're treating that happen presently?
So the argument in media is we know they ever lost gatekeeping concept. Wait till the shifts now the sole gatekeeping now. By sole gatekeeping now we no more be the doer. Now like how we all don't realize not to we no more the doer. You get other people the way they do. The distinction between we and them people and then are the fact say for let we talk bottom, right bottom, again for be true. For others, then just one for do for say then don't do So in the end, if you bring concepts about journalistic objectivity and subjectivity, you get scholars the way they tell you say certain thing and they way me and you not go do because we don't understand the theory and the practice. But you get other people them they not even know anything about that theory or practice. What's important for them now for saying now me first talk about this. So that is the responsibility. Whilst the sole gatekeeping concept don't shift, what you not go ever shift now the fact say there would always be agendas, and now we journalists them and other people them get for set their agenda.
Okay, Putka, I'll come back to you. You get for left way Ali because she gets some appointment. But quickly, let's talk to the regulator. You know, there you always see we don't see. Now they register media houses, and there's this new, you know, online. I get the CEO of IB blog now yesterday. He say when it started, it was just him. He gets him back, he move around, but he begin to think about business side of this and say, let's register this as a business, get an office space, and they run in business. What's in the IMC, you know, Act provide for? Do you also regulate online, you know, bloggers or online content creators? Because the point again is, when there is an issue, it comes back to an institution like the IMC as much as they go to SLAJ. What's in on they do presently?
So let me get the concept firstly. Why the IMC? The IMC in creation itself now be for enhance citizens' enjoyment of the freedom of expression. We're guaranteed by we legal instruments that's relevant at the Constitution, as well as international instruments guarantee citizens' enjoyment. So what basically Parliament will try for do now for most citizens they enjoy that freedom without hindrances. Okay, so now for that make they create the IMC, because before now we all see say that government be the regulate the media and the register. So they try for after the war they try for pull that one in the government and again an independent body for make sure say a man citizens enjoyment of freedom of expression. But then before the new media like how Putka talk, will not be get citizen journalism. So much of the people that will be the amplify their voices through media platforms, that be the journalism. So therefore the law will be mostly circled around the journalism itself and the practitioners. So that was why you find out say the IMC itself be just there for media houses and the journalism. But if really the IMC creation stem from citizens' enjoyment of the freedom of expression as guaranteed in sections 25 and sections 11, I think say there is a need also now that there is a third world. Because before now we only have two worlds, which was the physical and the underworld. But there is now a third world, which is now the virtual world. So there is no way we go overlook, you know, the regulation of the virtual world. Unfortunately, the IMC Act will be the repeal in 2020, and you know, we capture online, but it not be express. Yes, because we not be the envisage. Say citizens go get their kind of platforms them where they go able for as well create content.
So the time for catch up now, like Edward said.
Yes, for able for disseminate, create, gather and disseminate information at that kind of level we are now without recourse to the IMC. So therefore, you find out say in the IMC Act of 2020, the word online now only in the interpretation section that they will be captured under the definition of media institutions. But you know, will not be provided for them in the areas of like how they go register, how we go regulate them. But what you will see, we don't see say there is what we call social integration. For instance, Truth Media is not an online media. Truth Media is an FM. It's a radio and a television. Okay, but then you don't want to be left behind.
So you know that regulates me from the online content.
No, you are being regulated. You are being regulated on your online content because you are a registered media platform. Okay,
but I didn't register as an online platform.
Yes, but you are socially integrating into the online.
But then at the act, so the social integration.
No, I'm coming. Yes, no. At the point that they make, I'm coming. But you are not socially integrating. Okay, and because of the online provision in the IMC Act, therefore, we extend we monitor into the online platforms of registered media institution. But meanwhile, why we don't see this? Because the IMC itself is a progressive institution. So therefore, we go with emerging trends in media development and make also progressive laws in the country. So therefore, what the IMC don't do? We don't sit down, we look at it and say, no, the IMC Act of 2020 itself gets some lacunae. So therefore, we need for at least go see how we go review and amend the act.
Okay.
Then before now, in 2024, SLAJ, IMC, and other media stakeholders, we get a meeting and we look at the IMC Act to see say some gaps that they will need fulfilled. And fortunately, the now president of SLAJ was representing SLAJ at that particular meeting. So we begin to identify, there is now need for more expressly provide for online media. So what we begin see now, we see the tripartite recommendation can recommend expressly for the regulation of online platforms. So the IMC don't take further steps. We don't engage. We don't do consultations because the IMC they just make laws in isolation. What we do in the areas of media regulation, they make sure we go along with the practitioners as well as media stakeholders as well as the citizenry in the country. So we don't get a document, we don't put together a framework. We don't do now the draft stages at the law officers department. Well, very shortly it will get for going to parliament. Even the online space, how we go regulate them? Because the IMC not going to intervene.
So I say this presently. If any citizen, somebody do anything to a citizen using the online platform, they can't complain to the IMC.
Except the one that we don't voluntarily register. We get what we call voluntary registration, where most of the online media institutions will be banned by mainstream media practitioners.
Exactly. That's the point.
Don't see a needful for many of them, like Liberty, for instance. Okay, Echo Media, and then these women's voices. They don't expressly come forward. They say, no, we want to be regulated now at this stage. So they are being regulated. So they say before even the acts come in. But what in the new law they can do? The new law don't give IMC the framework at which it will able to intervene on the online platform. Because we get for respect citizen journalism as well. You don't go imagine say IMC will able to regulate every WhatsApp, every individual in the country. No. But then we don't define a clear scope at which the IMC get for intervene in the regulation of the online space. So we hope to say that law will come in, into force before the year end. We hope say
that not before election. Go for
no,
about
before the year
regulation.
end. And so therefore, so what will happen? I think because we also invite those big bloggers or those bloggers who get into the business of news gathering and dissemination on the platforms them. So we don't engage most of them. So therefore, some of them don't they in the process of preparation for the new law when they come. That is why a lot of them don't even take the first steps of registration of their businesses. Because before the IMC register you or license you as a business, you must be registered firstly as a business. So some don't already take that first step. But as it is now, Now voluntary licenses or registrations, 9 people they come from the IMC,
Okay.
which is acceptable. And
they can't tell Edward, but Putka Edward if we get some appointment. Putka, with this conversation what they get to, you know, the new media trend, you know, how do we leverage what's in the happen now and get people and where they come up from, like you say, me now almost all my colleagues say now people and when a student or people who don't graduate from the faculty. But how do we get a lot of people, by the way, where they get interest for go study journalism, media studies na the different universities them. But what in could be the role of the una na academia, una where they teach people them, you know, in getting the media usai for contributes to national development, because that's the aim and objective. Usai people and no go waiting don't help now. You hardly hear a person they say it's not a journalist no more. This is not person we can be journalist no more, not to train and qualify. Either way, must don't get some training and qualification. But which role una they play in building the next generation of journalists them, where the technology and other tools them and regulation and the IMC and SLAJ code all the parts of them and they know it and they can do more than Commoner College?
I think it could only get better, you know, from the time where they established that department back in the 90s to now. Like I say, no registered media institution, not in a salary where they go away, you know, go don't get graduates or even with current students them. What I think say most of we other colleagues them get for do, because we also recognize the fact say you get a number of people that we don't practice even before the department starts, where perhaps some man be don't study other thing them, they go take and say it go be kind of time consuming for come back for do other things them. But we have short courses. We get certificate program, for example, when at 12 months, when at 1 year, one academic year, where you know they reach 12 months, 8-9 months. In the end, I think saying that the interest get for day. Because the faculty has always been in existence, and I'm sure it will continue to be in existence. It's about people having the urge for, say, how I go redefine this my craft. And they see a number of people, them, they do professional things. How me self go join them? And the good thing is, you don't need for go for a college now. You have a number of colleges where they do communication now.
Yeah.
You get a number of students who don't graduate, where they are then colleges then they. I mean, this thing, we get for understand say the blend get for day. That thing where we they teach you in a college, not to say na pass you go for big college they go teach you. You can go other side and teach you the same thing. In the end, you want for showcase the difference between you and other person we not understand waiting for do. Because where IMC tell you say all journalists should be accurate, should be balanced, should be clearer. They're not they go for tell you say pass you go for big college, we go tell you dandy. Almost any side you go, it is expected that na then there for teach, because in the end, na in gets the blend. If we say there's no place for falsehood in journalism, me and you not get mine published or broadcast anything we not correct, especially when we know say this thing not correct. For some man, because he gets lenience, because he gets attachments or gets other agenda, he can do it. Professionally, it is not accepted. So I think say in a summary, we all get for make reasonable efforts. We were done there in the practice, and we were still want for make a name in the practice, because you are judged by your actions. Some man, the moment they call your name, they go tell you say Dande, then get preconceived idea of waiting and they do. So if you want for distinguish yourself from the rest of the crowd, there has to be a way you get a blend of the theories and the practices, and I think Sedande will be a way to go.
Okay, thank you so much, Putka. Thanks for joining us this morning, even though briefly. Hopefully you're going to continue the conversation there and teach people more. Edward, a lot of things don't come up from this conversation, from training to regulation. Manika, they talk about chapter 12, right?
Yeah.
Press freedom, free speech. Who side we they draw the line, and how people go understand say free, you know, there's something will happen with the cyber law the other time. There was this politician where they all because of cyber law, and somebody been they say if fine law they understand say the law they make not for certain group of citizens they no more, not for everybody. But how do we get the public for understand, and politicians themselves for understand say free speech goes beyond just for journalists or people them way na civil society way critical. It covers na fundamental right of everybody. How do we get to that point?
I think the politicians know that.
Yeah, but it's been difficult
Because
of accepting and agreeing to that, because watch, when we repeal the seditious libel law, part 5, we get the cyber bill we come, and it looks like the cyber bill is more tight than even what you've been getting today. So when you give one, you take one thing, you give another thing.
Give it one hand and take with the other hand. I think I mean, everybody get rights for expressing self freely, and like you say, these rights not just rights for journalists. When they talk about every day, it becomes like more relevant for the people that work in the media, because now we did another front line. Now we tool. Now we they use for work. We get for the express we self, and we also now a channel for let other people express themselves, right? You they invite people in there. But the artists get the same rights there. The woman where they sell in the market get the same rights there. You know, basically everybody get a rights there. It's a human right, not just right for journalists. The politicians have get a rights there.
Because you not go be politician in government forever. You go be
exactly
then opposition. You want all.
In fact, before you turn politician, you the motorman first. You understand? And that humanity there, now in that rights they attached to. That humanity. So the mortal man, you go say this mortal man, he go school or he not go school, he live in a city or he live in a village, he tall, he black, with skin color different, now so in eye look like, now so in mouth look like, you know, now like water. I don't forget I've been say this. I don't know whether Nyerere or somebody say this. It say the humanity na like water. You go say this na rain water, you go say this na pump water, you go say this na water we come on a sea, you go say this na fresh water. At the end of the day na water. Na so water na water. The common elements we they under, and the fundamental one, I not just say common now water. So that they say so motorman. So whether we are journalists, would they enjoy that right say to free speech, you know, or freedom of expression? Now the same right. Just because you're a journalist don't mean say you get more rights to free speech than the person in the market or the artist. Because what the artists they do basically, artists and they express themselves. Right? That is what they do. And if you're a driver, you're a mortal man, you get an opinion on something. You get to respect yourself. So I don't think the politicians don't understand that. I think they do. The problem we get now, because people the state, let not say people the state and the people where they run the state constantly they feel the need for control. Like they talk about we obsession with numbers recently. I think that your obsession are control. Like they just want for control.
Yeah, you know go left mention number.
No for left. So if you don't pull that chapter 5 there, you know, the Public Order Act, law fairway, law replace her with so. It go fight for dinner for be a fly on the wall with them conversations. They happen. But I think it's an obsession with just controlling people. Because now if you're a whistleblower self now, problem, because if you then an office, na government office, you don't like what's in the happen, you know, then you take information. You sabi where journalists go get scoop. You go sit down and have somebody give you scoop, say that ministry there, na so and so be the happen. They happen there. I want to make you know as a journalist and waiting. That information theft that one day, and if that information in a computer come on, well, a problem now you get
crime, not criminal offense.
You understand? So you get all the implications in this. So I think it's just that obsession with control, and the reason why they obsess with control now because politicians and the states not like anybody where they threaten them power. You understand? As long as what you they say they make them uncomfortable to the point where it threatens their power, that is where the problem is. You will say what you they say it's okay, they can tolerate, but the moment it begins to threaten their power, the moment the discomfort gets to a certain level, who suddenly feel like say the power, the authority, you know, becomes threatened, then
but how does they affect governance, good governance? Yesterday, me and Khadija they talking about sometimes we won't forget some conversation. You have people where they say, no, me, I'm not coming out. I don't want somebody use certain law for go after me, bye. And sometimes they like you mentioned, something go they happen some side, somebody go afraid for share that information they with the journalists or even come out and speak where you know say nothing no go happen. How do we relate, you know, the lack of it or that control to affecting democracy and good governance?
I mean, obviously it gets a direct impact, you know. Dixon just can't say. I'm also how I spend na CID. When they ask you question. So if I'm not afraid, that's so in take step back. If you're a civil society person, then the moment you come on a media, even if they don't arrest you, even if CID not call you, but then you get people where they work for politicians within the same media space. So when they talk about the problem where this democratization of information and the tools so they use for communicate come with. So it gets a direct impact on people in rights. It gets a direct impact on governance. And with governance, I think one way where the politicians they need for look at them, and the fact say if you just surround yourself with people and way they tell you what you want for your better than the day, even party business, right? You have people that never disagree. We all not go agree, and that is what democracy is about, right? People that never tell you say, but this thing, like if find say, so man go come on, he say, me I don't like him. I think it's rubbish. You go down well with all your intention, but somebody that corner away believe say, what you they talk na rubbish, or what you they do that rubbish. And I think say that person they suppose forget that rights they for say, then disagree with you. You understand? And the only way you get people and where they highlight, and that is why the role of the media important. Where they get the touchlights and they shine and I place them. I see when I do that video on Shell. You know,
the road,
and how they don't abandon them. You understand?
Yeah.
In fact, the entire city look like that, basically, in my view.
It looks like a slum.
So not to just that Shell day. I'll just take that one example day. So then the people we need for a reader one day, I don't know if I forget, send they forget, or we constantly need for they remind them. But if you create an atmosphere of fair, say civil society person, no, they feel free for come out and say certain things, or ordinary citizen, the member they look over his shoulder and say, if I say certain things, probably then they can't hold me. And if I worst for themselves, because you the journalist, you know, Manika then go go na CID for go pull you there. That ordinary person, you know, there's nobody where they go pull and you understand? Now go, that's so you take go per them wood if you not get people that will go tin up for you. You understand? So if you create that atmosphere of fair where people and get constantly they look, so you know that nobody they tell you to. So that's how they go no more. We all they go so go end up inside the water.
Manika, you know, I know sometimes SLAJ can they, I don't side them way people can say, what's in SLAJ don't say about this thing that happen at government, what's in SLAJ go say.
Yeah, we'll ask about the chapter 12.
Yes,
That's why we not take get chapter 12.
Yeah, so is it that we serve as SLAJ, we careful of what you they talk about, or how they put remote, because there's this understanding now from the public say we get a body, professional body like SLAJ, we go come out and make a statement if something wrong is happening with governance, with democracy. The way chapter 12 not there, or the issue of the fear where Edward they talk about, we self get that fear there.
No, we don't get that kind of fear there, Alamana. And I appreciate people and concerns about SLAJ, and it shows people really trust what SLAJ do. But we not just put much by everything. If we put by everything, SLAJ no become.
Yeah, but critical issues, national issues like the amendment bill.
We put much past something very critical. We get for do national interest. Not so everything we put much past. Like what is this constitutional amendment will just take place. Me personally be the follow the whole thing. I mean, follow, and I be there at Parliament throughout. Every day the way MPs and then at Parliament till 2:30, maybe that Parliament up close to 8 p.m. before I go. When I go again, I be follow online because clearly I want to make sure say whatever TV I go say at the end of the day, I get control of what I say.
The prominence of politicians and the key to the amendment then we get for do with election and other things, and so how do we, you know, also give that prominence to chapter 12? Let citizens understand say there is this call, not because when you listen to the politician them, they don't go back say na Kawan been there with the TRC, they Kawan. How do we remind them also say this self native been there at TRC and Kawan committee self recommend them so that if we're done at the constitution?
Lama, we done the campaign and we in constant engagement with the AG, we in constant engagement with other stakeholders and on the 1st of September, by the grace of God, we get stakeholders engagement where we involve media owners and media practitioners, we involve civil societies, we also involve people from the law officers department. We can discuss this thing moving forward because we want to make sure say this opportunity will get to, we not miss them out. one thing where people
sir.
No, Mr. The bill where
I agree with you. But if government, you don't know, we come into election. What if government say we need to go to referendum again for review the constitution? What if now you see the disagreement will get and just election laws? What if government say we not get money for conduct referendum?
Well, me look at that.
Look at that.
We wait for that time because we believe say this process government don't agree say they review the entire and constitution. So if you just cherry pick what they want because things are going to do to election and left and so we need to take up with other areas. They are in the media and other stakeholders will come on board now for engage governments consistently. Say this is unfair to we the people of Sierra Leone because this is not about politicians. This is about the people of Sierra Leone. The review not for just the politicians. This is about Sierra Leone. So they not just cherry pick what they want. What I'm done with that and say we will stop here. So in the work, brah, we will cast them heavily. We'll see. But I mean, I personally give up on
No, I know you were at BBC Media then where you work with SLAJ for.
I'm still working.
I was in fact now we designed that project day with SLAJ and say one of the things that we want for since we're having this conversation about the constitutional amendment or the review of the constitution. We want for join SLAJ and support SLAJ for make sure say we get a standalone chapter. This is a campaign where the media community, the journalism community don't do for many years since Kawan, you know. So whether I'm hopeful or not, at this point, to be honest, I will be very surprised if we and sorry if I'm sounding pessimistic, but I would love to be pleasantly surprised if we end up getting. The reason we make her say this, we all don't see how, you know, the entire constitutional amendment conversation, like you said, don't point out, and the president self don't say it's been about waiting concern the politicians, at least the conversations, you know, that are taking center stage. It's about elections. And we write the other day in our Engage say, it's very easy for you mistake the constitutional amendment process for only some electoral reform process.
That's the idea now.
That is what it looks like. So if you ask me whether a hopeful say you get hope. you know why you want hope for you, right? and if you ask me if I'm hopeful, I would love to be surprised, to be honest. After it all, but the way how things they go so, and it's sad that I'm saying this as somebody who actually don't work on this, we don't support this, but I don't see it. I mean, I want the president for tell me why in things say this is possible. What not indications them where it gets say this is possible that we would have a standalone chapter or at least get that conversation they go all the way to the finish line. I don't see it. Maybe I'm not part of those conversations anymore. He is part of those conversations. Maybe he has information that I don't have, but I'm sure the Guild of Editors will let for no and be hopeful together say this that thing. And even the IMC self I should say this is something where there's
yes, Manika,
yes. Lamara start with Edward in concern. Clearly now we see the politician, both the APC, the CPP, they all refer to Justice Kawan recommendations, the way they put the argument forward. Same way so with the media, with the people of Sierra Leone, with the highlight, we also reference that particular recommendation say if we make recommendations not only for get a standalone chapter but other areas we get to do with women's empowerment, disability issues, so many things where we deal as a country, as a people, as citizens. Now we don't right now for let we make sure say with the all we elected officials to account. Let not just cherry pick things we get for do with elections and left way out. No way, we don't allow that one day. Now we put them into governance. Now we they vote for them. So if them don't go cherry pick what they want, then go to our parliament because the argument was amendment they get timeline for the elections. So I made them present them first because I don't engage AG several times. It's also the issue has to get timeline. The other issues have not get timeline. So we are still waiting.
But free speech is as important as fixing
now this amendment also we see say people already talk about them about now the same people wey come out truth media, na same people go Liberty, na same people go SLBC, na same people go other media houses. Because like you say initially, most people are free for come out now for say something, because the moment you can say something, you say something in favor or you say something like this, they say this is SLPD, this is APCD, or they begin to get you online. Some of we get thick skin and you will not care because we only up in this space for over 10-15 years. But this is the issue with the Selama. Me very much believe say this time I will not miss out, because if there is mistake because the president say then they left out the things they were for do with the citizens them, then just they cherry pick what they for do with them the politician them. No. We will continue for the OLM to account every day. And this campaign so not about just with journalism. All Sierra Leoneans, whether they are civil society activists or driver or cook seller, everybody will get right for CO2 and for C. For as long as they say they within the laws of Sierra Leone, we don't stop for
Thomas Dixon.
Thomas Dixon.
Thomas Dixon. Before we go to the Wimside president quickly, but Thomas Dixon, the chapter 12. We don't. I'll ask you the other question about the media landscape presently. But what do you think about chapter 12? And you hopefully say we go achieve them?
Thank you very much. Congratulations first to media.
Thank you.
For me, I think say by the trend, we also call in public analysis trend analysis, where you see the trend how the politicians they go about in this constitutional review process. I will tell you say like Edward I not get up. I'm very pessimistic. You look at even at these electoral reforms, things that we vital. We suicide the politicians, both APC and SLPP reject them. For example, we get independent candidates. We go contest for presidential election. Now recommendation na Kawan in report. So forget independent, not to just party. They reject them. We suicide and say for reduce the power of the president. We suicide and reject them also. We also see the argument for this body for
such
and nomination. We see the argument. So they find out things that we get for like a checkmate the powers of the politicians. Then they tend for downplay them or they reject outrightly. So if you say you go get chapter 12, where the beginning of chapter 12 now for say government not for make no law, where for hinder press freedom na saloon. You think say them politicians will get the crop of politicians will get with these strengths where they checkmate their power, then go approve that.
How do we achieve that as a country? Because if the politician gets a common ground, where the people themselves or gets we common ground?
The politicians they don't put we against we self. Now this country. And then you get the few elites where for think with the fear. Either because of reprisal, say they no get job, the livelihood mechanism. So you get a few sets of people and the way actually you call opinion leaders, when they for lead opinion, form opinion. Then they afraid for do that. So because of that, most of the we not go able for galvanize together. Always when you see how they come together now based on political interest as a nation. Either we come together for SLPP or come together for APC. There are a few times we don't come together. After the war, we came together. We want peace. We don't want we say we for this and come it. People of this country come together. Say we will not be no political party. Then so which party wanted peace, sustainable peace. So there are things that we as people for rally around things that they were very important. I listened to a senior lawyer, Pamomo, saying the president is not a god.
Yeah.
We don't deify. We don't make the president like a deity. Not to justice president.
Supremo.
President before now. We don't make them like a deity. So then believe say, then a god. And I read a book where John Kufuor, former president of Ghana, see, he say power get the potential for make good man bad. Imagine if you get bad person in all power. What he could do to her. So if we don't they say the president don't forget power, he forget powers. They for function. But forgive the president power like why they give the president of Iran the supreme leader of Iran power. Like how they give the president of North Korea power. A problem for the state.
Supreme executive
Executive authority. And the politicians are always a referee. Either they refer to the police or they refer say go court. This is because over the years, courts not don't live up to the test of time. They not ever they rule against the state. They always they rule in favor of the state. If they don't want for rule, they will delay the matter or they outrightly reject them. So the politicians they get confidence. They make like the speaker will say, "I they rule now, but anybody will feel aggrieved, they go na court."
Yeah.
In other parts of the world, outside people they respect. They know say the Supreme Court can rule against states. They know they get a mind for say go na Supreme Court.
They careful of what
they careful of what they do. We don't see inside the same Supreme Executive Authority was before the Supreme Court for interpretation. What in the Supreme Court say? The Supreme Court endorse and make the president, and the Supreme Court make the president supreme leader of this country. So can one they look at them thing and say let them reduce? I know do one. So for me, I don't know say Manika optimism.
Yeah.
I want me go to one time I've been father. I won't go to the AG. we don't go to the AG day. We don't go to the AG day. But the AG is a politician.
Yeah.
Apart from being an attorney general as a professional, he's a minister of justice and he's a politician appointed by the president.
Yeah.
There are certain things again for look at in political interest first before ever they look at your interest. These are the countries where they tell you say, oh, they're in a university, oh, they practice politics, Edward there. No, student politics. We go one quote, so they quote, seeking first the political kingdom. And all of that things shall be handed unto you. So now they see so the political kingdom. Now they see so that this country. So for me, I no get hope. I no go like for you. I no get hope.
We believe say we the people of Sierra Leone. This is not about SLAJ. We get what it take for make the politician and give we that stand no chapter. But if them people and they not listen to what we want with the people, but now get the media.
Okay.
Now get the space. What's all do you
back out?
When you talk saying I will get the media.
Now get the media space.
No, you gotta be careful. The media is not as aware.
I know say
we got be guarded.
anyone will be the first
politicians are on media.
Exactly. Anyone will be the first for repeal of Part 5. We get very senior colleague again that the media will be against that because of the government. They say they want for repeal a particular section day. When we make get that one they done during the.
But if you get the president, we get the weed. You know, go that.
What is the essence of the repeal now that we have Section 44?
And thankfully, the same.
Alhaji, I come back to you. Yeah. We they go. Now we other studio. We get the president of WIMSAL. We get other guests with possibly you and the regulator get for left. We can get media talk with yourself. But let's go to Istina quickly.
I'm worried the regulator they were the talk see the IMC government or they do better service to them.
Okay. You go. I will come to you for that. But let's go to Istina quickly. Good morning, Madam President. Morning, Madam President. Okay, we try to get sound with the president of WIMSAL na we other studio. But quickly, Khalil, you don't hear this whole thing about, you know, I know myself gets on your review, but press freedom, free speech as well. To the point Usai, the IMC, I remember I listened to Dr. Spencer the other day. He said the idea of him pushing for to get an independent media commission now for build trust between the public and the media to a point Usai, if citizens feel aggrieved, say the media do something, instead of going to the police and lock journalists in a CID, then they go to the IMC. You get cases where Manika for go CID, even people in a government, politicians, they take journalists and go CID before they go to the IMC. Is it that people know trust or believe in within the IMC they do, or it's just about now the laws them what we already get, and this chapter 12 what they ask for no day where somebody go no say if somebody say something was it not criminal, and no go na CID go to the IMC for regulate whatever I feel aggrieved about.
Not not a trust issue, because the IMC don't they dispense the work and the responsibilities diligently over the years, and I must say we get competent people who preside over the IMC complaints committees, and what it basically where somebody don't be aggrieved with a media publication, sometimes those people want to see some vigorous actions when not to that the IMC Act provide for. So maybe some of them the feel say some of the remedies where the IMC a little bit not that kind harsh. But also there is a reason the IMC, as much as it is now, would they preside over matters, would they follow the IMC Act and media regulations, and would they give sanctions. But the problem lies between the media institutions ourselves. And I have said, if the media, when are their own baby with the Independent Media Commission, decide not for obey the Independent Media Commission in rulings, then citizens go later on resort to other means, because it's also a right. They're not compelled by law for only come to the IMC. I think it's a situation where we face now self-regulation will enhance, because most people when they go to the IMC, they even expect say we go give them costs. For instance, some people when they come because of the damage where the media house go don't cost to them, but that is not the case. But again, would they say when the laws of the IMC, the enforcement powers, they be strengthened, because also after the 2020 Act, we come for realize say. Over the years, why would they implement the 2020 Act? We can't realize that as much as some powers of the High Courts be given to the IMC, but then the enforcement part of it in Section 16, it gets some weaknesses where we need for the strengthening when actually that this new law they come do. Okay. Because as it is now, IMC go don't find you. It give you time for pay. Most means, in fact, I go say 60% of the media institutions don't even abide by the rulings of the Independent Media Commission.
But what's in the responsibility if they don't abide, if you want to find them?
So that is where we they see the laws a little bit weak, because over the years the laws are sections 14, 15 of the IMC Act. It suggests if a media house don't commit a breach, we as a commission, we for right time media house draw the attention, give them time for compliance. And even if they're not ready for compliance, they can resort to the High Court. So only after that, now the law give you right say, if we don't give at that time, we don't tell them what are the actions we will take, and we give that length of time, and still not comply, then we for now move for enforcing Section 16. And the enforcement of the IMC, now they the problem there, because the enforcement not wholly and solely lies on the Independent Media Commission, but they now say the IMC for now apply for a warrant to the High Court. Whether that part, then after all they apply, then the High Court, with the aid of a police officer not below the rank of an assistant superintendent, go enforce IMC ruling. So all of that one day we don't try them over the years. I still get a pending matter we don't do that court, because if you where the IMC say appeal not serve as a stay, I get a pending matter in the court. We will go follow up till the person even die. Yes, the proprietor die. IMC not ever able for stop her. So therefore, the new IMC Act, the new amendment, because the tripartite recommendation also recognize that. Therefore, now they don't say, instead of the IMC going to the court again for a warrant, wherein the IMC don't tell the media institutions that this you don't do it bad, they don't give a time for comply. The IMC don't tell us say if you not comply, now this what they do. If that media institution or practitioner are not able to take the reasonable steps for correct the anomalies or the breaches, then the IMC, according to the new law we don't put forward, the parliament accept them, the IMC go down move with the aid of a police officer not below the rank of an assistant superintendent for go like paste the IMCC and stop the media institution or practitioner from practice.
Khalil, una get the required support as a commission?
Well, we
subvention though. You don't get alert.
Well, yes, I would say so, because what happen the amount of projects, the thing that we IMC for do. Okay, commensurate with the kind of support we get.
Okay.
Yeah, not timely. As it is now, we just don't install a media monitoring software. One of the actors, who they monitor about 80-something media institutions, electronics media institutions, and they record them and they keep them for up to 90 days. Okay, we will not resort to any other thing or any other media monitor, for instance. But then we get other activities for engaging, and the office as it is now, we need a bigger space because the management and functional review will come out from the tripartite recommendation just not complete them. IMC is going to have a new structure. And as it is now, the space inside the IMC is not just convenient for many IMC EVDD. We need a bigger space. So those are some of the things, like some logistical support. The IMC need that.
You don't get new vehicle.
No, I'm not getting new vehicle. The vehicle the IMC they use is as old as 10 years now, and that's the only vehicle, and that is what we use to monitor media institutions across the country.
Like what Jimmy Monkey said, remember another 60 years.
I see where the executive secretary do explain. We have to be careful in over-regulating the media.
Yeah.
I think the drafters of the enforcement aspect, they are very careful that you have to go to court and get a court order to close a media house. For close media house, an embarrassment to government. Close media.
But if the media no adhere to regulations to say you for do
embarrassment
this
to government. So I think the drafters then think, let's have a court. The court for order the closure of the media house.
Because the IMC cannot be right as always.
Yes, they cannot be right
because
as always.
The IMC commissioners are journalists, so you get people who are
journalists, you have lawyers,
exactly.
You have civil society, you have
technical
engineers.
people. Yeah,
I have been to the IMC several times. There are times where unjustly the IMC don't rule against me. I get for go back and tell them, say, I they go na high court too. Na so. And we even present evidence. Why would I not consider this evidence? Imagine based on that, the IMC get a power, they then go close the office. So we have to be careful. And after we discuss, I go and meet the IMC, we discuss, then realize, say, yes, then TSO, them are present them. Why would I not consider the TSO? Well, we will get back to you and we'll solve them amicably. So based on that, we have to be careful. Not always that the media is wrong. So the IMC, we as media, we need to be regulated. Again, the IMC not just there for regulation. According to the Act, the IMC also there for media development. The media development aspect of the IMC, for more than 4 months, they forget about them. Now the first few years where IMC be the partner of panels, and then they do that media development where they just start. But since after that, they forget about it. Now we talk about technological development, media sustainability. Media sustainability, get what you call technological sustainability. If the media not getting technological enhancement, we cannot talk about media sustainability. So IMC that a role for able for train journalists them, not just on ethical issue, on some of these things in terms of me to develop the media. But are they feeling for them? Yeah, now executive secretary will take 10 because one go na finance.
Yes,
go tell us, so if you don't go talk again, they give you the money. But people money, they go tell us, you don't go talk this again, that television. But what I know is the IMC na last year subvention, I didn't know receive this year. Last year subvention. The IMC they took 3 quarters.
Money not
they get subvention. If I were go na the IMC, you know how for work at the current office. As you enter this, you know how for work. Because you see poverty.
But this is serious. This is a very
serious issue.
So the point I take with Dixon, in submission, are the fact that he say IMC go be too powerful or IMC go resort to some other things. I don't believe that, because all of the steps what the Independent Media Commission they take. Now steps were very civil and now steps were very clear. I think you get it right for appeal at the High Court where you feel aggrieved by.
But if you remove that, if the new act they remove that, say you
the
journalists can open and follow and enforce. That you don't need High Court clearance for enforcement.
No, now the enforcement part. Now in fact the tripartite recommendation Now even observe the civil.
But it's not politician and go see and agree.
So we don't identify this. So we as media people and we as journalists, we don't identify this in the previous review. Okay, that was a review of 2024. That was where we realized that in fact the process was civil. The powers are not coming to the IMC at force. After we ruling, that person who don't rule against get the right to appeal to the High Court. And before IMC take any next steps, IMC notifies you. IMC gives you time. IMC tells you what you have done wrong. And IMC tells you as well the steps that you should be taking. You know that should be taken.
But all they come after the appeal. The outcome of the appeal.
No, if you appeal, we go to the court. So this is where the High Court to say, IMC, you have not followed your procedures. Okay, they call that judicial review. So they can send her back for more
appeal on. Now the procedures.
The procedures
will lead to the decision. Now you the appeal. Say the IMC don't misstep. It's called judicial review. Now under administrative law, they can either squash the decision. They can either tell the IMC, say, go back and go do harm. So it's a procedure. So in terms of closure of newspaper, I think the drafters of the IMC Act, they look at and say, let the IMC not get all this power in one. The IMC is a regulatory body, like most regulatory bodies.
So yes, so this is where responsibility comes. You see, this is where responsibility comes.
Yeah, but also you need for consider, say, like how the IMC acts right now. The person who sits as chairperson or the at the IMC is appointed by the president, right?
Yes, acting on the advice of the of SLAJ. Yes, in consultation with SLAJ. But what would they say here? All of them media practitioners. I think media houses, media practitioners, for land for obey. Regulatory institution. If the regulator don't take a step, which is an open step, in fact the IMC that public complaint hearings we can get. So mostly you are not just giving a sanction or you're not just fine because or in isolation. Opportunity is given for you to be heard. So the IMC complaint procedure, for instance, is an open court.
How much IMC they enforce this aspect of una law say before you renew your license? You for proof say you dey pay NACIT, you dey pay tax them and their obligations.
As they speak now, I get the data now. It's so appalling because over the years before the coming into force of the IMC Act of 2020, now the only payment somebody go pay say I don't renew. So similarly, so now registration is not just contingent on payment. When you pay, you get for submit all proofs of those documents for more to verify them. Before ever we go give you certificate, and the certificate now the proof of registration or renewal of your license and registration. But as it is now, if you go to the IMC office, very few don't comply with that one day. Very few. Some of them
the power for the register, right?
That is where the problem is. So we have given them the notices that this is what you should do, this is what you should do. They have not done it, and they are still seated, and then IMC get for now go to court. For medical court go
but why IMC they go court?
So IMC don't make them provision. So we don't make the so what they say? We don't make the attempts them.
So the problem not with the law. The problem there's a gap. Maybe we need a special media court.
No, I think we'll discuss this. We don't discuss this in the consultation.
So that's what I want for do so, and I'm with Dixon on this. That's what I want for do so. I find it concerning and probably dangerous because the law will get now not only the problem. Because if somebody now fulfill the requirements, whether for registration, operation, or from the complaint hearing and the judgment will not pass, if una want for enforce them, the provision very clear. So una can go court and court epuna for enforce them. So the question when we get now, una want for change that one day. Because you want for hold all the power, make it within the IMC. So now the problem where you get now with the law or now with the fact say court not a work quick for Epuna for do it for do. I don't think it's the law.
I don't want to use the word winner.
And IMC.
No, it is not about the IMC alone. Say we, because you are also part of the media. And we are
the IMC are the regulator.
So yes, we are the regulator, but I want to use say we.
So you want to use
we, yes, because of all of the consultation. And thankfully, all of us seated here take part in the consultation and we look at it holistically.
Okay.
Okay, I would say I say.
No, I mean they do.
Okay, maybe you not be the country, but you are invited. Lamana was invited. So you are there. We get it.
So no, go beside
nationwide consultation. And there was a
I remember when last I attend IMC.
Now we go beside Dixon.
No, it is the law. So as the laws are now, as the laws are, we don't say as a little bit cumbersome.
Okay.
Because we have tried, not that we have not put the law to test, we have tried it.
Another work.
It don't work.
Who's the problem there?
No,
So the problem, he always talk with the legal system when it gets to the court to get the warrant, to enforce.
I think
To get the warrant to enforce is where we actually have the problem.
Journalists take IMC to court. The journalists defend good lawyer.
So the IMC self-offend
The
good law.
IMC self-defend the legal team. It's about arguing in court. There are instances where the IMC don't win. There are instances where the IMC don't lose. Matter, you remember Sylvia Blyden and Awareness Time versus the IMC. Also, I think Tambayo versus the IMC. So it's about going to court. It's about testing the law.
Yeah, I agree.
Let not just get the law or left a day. Say no, we don't get power. I think the only thing where I think they for do IMC forget a mechanism for instead of if they say they want all this power, instead of law go appeal to High Court, and can get a mechanism way different from the holding at the complaint here, you will go appeal to.
Another layer.
Will go appeal to. They can get a mechanism.
I think me and Edward been on the talk. You know, we
because going to court is very expensive.
Yeah.
Even for talk about money, about the
Expensive
NRA,
and
let's talk about the
time-consuming,
NRA and the NASIT. With media landscape, we beaucoup. Money not enough. So, in fact, when they talk about public interest journalism, I look at where you put all your advertisers there. They tell them 10 I look at one of the advertisers who be getting issue one, then be entire. But I know every two talk about the two. I say, if I miss SF, I know we'll talk about that two.
Yeah.
Because now then they pay me. So when you look at the media, the IMC can want for enforce, but also they say they look at themselves say, but we are part of the media. The media not get this money.
The reality
on the ground. And no bigger media houses then now we know they employ people. They only come and pay you by story because of this law. When they make this law, I told the then Minister of Information.
But that is not new, Dixie.
Yes, I told the then Minister of Information. I say, when they make this law for NASIT, I say, when they create a way now, they can get beaucoup freelance. People are not good in an institution now. So we count your story, I pay you by story, or I do contract after 6 months. I know you renew contract.
So Dixie, they can't talk to myself. How do we address this problem, Edward? Yeah. But I want Khalil left way. I want no. Khalil, waiting are you hope? Waiting are you hope for the media with the convergence so they get with the changing.
Question here.
The Sabus are getting this platform.
Bible self say the expectation shall not be.
So why we tell us say I believe so they get this
With what they get right now, with what they happen at the media landscape right now, what's in that they hope.
Well, for we as a commission and me personally as an individual, I think say optimistic say with the move, the media would only move, would only see some great improvement. Firstly, in media proliferation, of course, down the Eclair, we get more media institutions now than before, and even in the practice, I see say. A lot of improvement there with the advent of the media and journalism schools across the country, and mostly the mainstream media is trusted. So we hope that when regulation get to be extended to the online platforms, they say get to be trusted because at least they don't get some regulations and some rules we go guide them.
Okay.
Coming over to we special chapter like how chapter 12 the president be say. Me personally, I hopeful. Me personally believe say we go get a media landscape and the legal systems could be provided for. Okay. And I believe say in the constitutional review, even though maybe we not get everything we go ask for, but at least I get the trust say some provisions go did especially on the media in our chapter.
Alhaji Manika, I want quickly talk about public interest media. I know SLAJ is a part of it, and we've been set up this committee. Khalil, thank you so much. I want to thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate that so much, and we'll continue this conversation. Manika, quickly before you left, I want what's in how far this public interest media and the fund of supporting public interest media, from the side of government, we make commitments, right? How far are they with that?
Lamana, unfortunately, we really starved in that sector. You know, there was a time where we get support from the International Fund for Public Interest Media, and this all come about after the 2022 Media Viability Conference, where we will be holding a Bitumandi conference, and where President signed the repeal of the part of 1965 Public Order Act. I sure say it will promote media development. So we get this Media Viability Conference, Bitumandi Conference in 2022, and one of the outcome of that particular conference is the National Action Plan, where we get 7 points, and one of the 7 points then they forget this independence media, this public interest media, and during the leadership of Ahmed Said Nazar, whereby then Mina be the secretary, will be engaged with partners, including the BBC Media Action, where Edward within Australia, so be the head. And we get another colleague within Ghana, with Macmid. They all be support we because Macmid is the head the International Fund for Public Interest Media. We will be established with National Fund for Public Interest Media and Salou be under the Media Reform Coordinating Group when Dr. Soa be the head. That particular fund, we don't establish and we get the initial fund where BBC Media and the International Fund for Public Interest Media give something like 60,000 euro when we be put out a call for application where media houses across the country be apply for develop the media and for do some investigative reporting. And we get 14 media houses and we be fortunate for get that grant today. We get an independent committee where we do the review and still they do monitoring of them people and they. During the days of the then former Minister of Information and Communication, by the way, Mohamed Rahman Swari, where they just appointed as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, he be make a commitment. He be go attend one international conference where he be talk about this public interest media, where he talks say governments will support public interest media saloon, and he be make a commitment, and government will make a commitment. The initial commitment the government make that was $100,000, say then go put into that fund, that basket fund, where then go support that particular campaign day. And go say, so we partners them, where they support when if pin, we challenge government, if government put $100,000 in that account, they say they put $100,000 in that account for support public interest media. For example, what should media this so when I want to take up any investigative work, when only for go meet Orange or Africell or any company for support now, when I just they apply to that fund where the National Fund for Public Interest Media go look into and they support now. So that incident now we will get independent stories and where even SLAJ where we do the story, we say will help for circulate them all over. But as it is, we still engage government. Recently we get an engagement with.
But I don't hear plenty. I don't hear publicly. The minister don't assure we this. He said they will meet again. They tell we say. Then they on the engagement, the document, the Ministry of Finance, all into so we will continue for. Is it that the government they were giving the subvention? I say the subvention they increase and the public interest media money.
The subvention quite different from that.
Yeah, I understand. But the public interest media money they go to media houses. The subvention is for SLAJ. It's for so which one for prioritize?
But as it is now, we they pushed out to government. The government supports that particular because the commitment government don't make. Government don't make that promise to the media. Say they support public interest media. So and now the fund don't stop because if people don't stop, don't transfer any money again. And BBC Media Action give up the support themselves right now not support we because government commitment to that one day. We not the same because if we want support media development, I think that we for always they prioritize at this country also.
Okay.
There should be independent media houses. The truth is, yes, we get media houses where they support government to go down against, but to get independent media houses where we believe say they for benefit for that particular fund, where we believe say if they do any story about a mining coming, we foresee the difference. If they do any story about corruption, we foresee the difference. Not always somebody gets something against you, go write story. We want to see the analysis in Sierra Leone. The claim about what you do so that because you get partners that will believe in what they do, and you should believe in what they do. Make me, treat me, I don't grow. Just 1 year. Look the following way don't get. Look the kind space where you
But they look forward to that money. They
So
you know, we applied first, but we've been just a setup, and the team been almost we late for apply actually.
Yeah.
But I don't look forward to this. Say there are things we want to do.
Exactly, because now.
So let us save the money with and the subvention to SLAJ and send them to the
No. Governments always for support media development. The subvention could still go, that public interest media money for still go. But government they put money at things that will not even make some sense. We get so many things that government is spend per way. But government for support the media.
And at the commitment that
because you see one thing, we always say the media are the fourth arm of government. But any country where the media are not strong, but that country they develop.
Okay.
So government for take the media very serious. That money they can't to SLAJ, that's subvention. Not so they come here the president too. While you know they can't to me. We several national executive members them not they get allowance. In fact, we SLAJ a review we do on the 2024 constitution. There was a proposal that them for the give stipend to the executive.
No.
And a very serious and a very senior colleague, na SLAJ, when I the former president of SLAJ, Umo Fofana, they move a counter motion. Say all what they can at SLAJ na volunteer.
Yeah.
Not for nobody. So that money they can to SLAJ to subvention and that money they share to all the partners them. Okay. While they can to the president.
You get
So
they pay SLAJ people.
Well, so I know I'm going to pay, but first of all, this man never do 3 years. Then if he run again, he win. He run back.
Well, we have to remember
6 years, and we know if you are the SLAJ president, you not able to do nothing again for yourself.
Exactly.
And what me they suggest is that we don't need for give stipend to the executive as it is so because them boku. That executive they too big. We don't need it today. If you ask me,
for reduce
the executive will become smaller. You understand? Very, very small. You don't need past 3 people them with ad hoc committees then at the membership. We're going to help the executive. So if you get 3-4 people then at the executive, you have to argue now, say, okay, when months done, not pull something for the president in top up, in fuel and all that thing. Let's get small allowance. Because you know they go to an office safe. Who's say actual job day? And they say for like be SLAJ president, you forget job.
Yeah.
As a journalist.
Yeah.
You forget job, right? Fine. You forget job, and if you get this job, you know they go to that job day, your employer they fire you. And they continue for pay you. So me think say for the guidance.
This is a bigger conversation we forget. Manika, finally, waiting now you hope, you know, or waiting your optimism,
Optimism.
on the media, with the changing media landscape.
Lama, I must say we make improvement at the media. Amidst the challenges, we make improvement, and I believe say, despite all the challenges, the media will continue for develop because amidst the challenges now, treatment that can set up. At least yesterday, maybe they talk about the challenges where we face, where you want launch a day to the launching, where we all be upset about that, where you receive a letter say they don't you suspend your license or whatever. We all be feel bad, but we come around you, we engage you, tell you say not give up. This thing it will come to pass because we believe say it was not right at the time.
Yeah.
And behind the scene, we all work. Yeah. By then, I was the secretary. We encourage you and we engage the relevant stakeholders. You operate. Now we also again with Calibre talk about people the way they operate and the online platform. Despite the fact the laws not expressly state say that for regulate them.
Okay.
We get say that they go register because they want to go into business.
Okay.
Me get the hope say the media will continue for develop amidst all challenges, and I believe say. We stand alone chapter we dey get them this time around because the commitment is there, and because the commitment is there, we dey call on the government, we dey call on all relevant stakeholders, make them expect wetin dem don promise the media. This not to beg, not to favor they do to we.
Now for everybody.
This na everybody. This na call for everybody. That politician tomorrow she don't na corner you make any audio or video. You forget that right for some of you not to incitement. You know call for people and come on and treat unnecessarily.
Thank you so much, President of SLAJ, Alhaji Manika Kamara. With your optimism and hope, we self get hope, say things will get better. Estina, Madam President, good morning once more.
Good morning.
Hello, Estina.
Hello, good morning.
Yes. Thanks for joining us this morning. You look good as always. Making people happy. You know what I mean,
I know.
Yeah, but thanks for joining us this morning. I know before now, there was this report who talk about the state where BBC media do, where they talk about the state of women in the media and the challenges them within the face. I just asked Manika about the optimism and the change in media trend. We don't see say female journalists them they face more threats even online than the men them. What's in your assessment so far? See, you don't a lot of training, you don't engage. Are things changing in any way? Hello, Istina.
Yes, you get me?
Yes, I've been asked whether you think say anything don't change with the current media landscape with regards to the women practicing as journalists.
Well, there has been changes here and there. We can't deny say change is not there because, for instance, we get more women now where they come and where senior, for instance, look at.
Okay, we get some network issue with Istina. We'll come back to them quickly, but I get me other two people that we don't join me at the studio. I want to welcome them first. Sarah Kale, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Asmi Uba, the Deputy DG of SLBC. Good morning, Koto.
Thank you very much, Lama. It's a pleasure for you.
I don't know stem person. When last somebody interview you?
You don't see you. I like for interview, but I don't like for you to interview.
That is it with journalists as always. That is it. But thanks for joining us this morning. Say I will start with you. Istina will join me soon. But at the start with you, a lot of people are not make reference on what you need to do. Yesterday we had Phoebe and other people. Been the talk this morning with Edward about the technology and waiting. We as journalists can do where they show the difference. Say we're not professional and we still get the gatekeeping responsibility. We don't just left them. As a journalist, you don't practice. You got a blog. You publish the. Khalil been they talk about registration. You register with IMC, right?
No, not IMC.
You don't register with IMC, but you register as a business.
Yes.
So you not see the need for register with IMC?
Well, I see the need, but in this country, we get issue of finance.
Okay.
So I will get there.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
But the use of technology, going online, publishing online, and with waiting with it, the difference not that much, except we're broadcasting on radio and get radio where the broadcast. But how you play this gatekeeping responsibility for understand say as well as you do online, you publish say as a blogger, but you get codes. I'm sure you mostly think about the IMC Act as well, even though register with them.
Yeah.
How you put that together?
Okay, so before I respond to your question, I just want to say something. Just a couple of days ago, I had talk with Manika, and I suggest we talk about the issue that they need to get paid. And I just want to say that again because I was like, they need to even give a stipend, and they say no. So I just want to say, me and one panel people that we want join the call for let they pay SLAJ them, even if not stipend. And like this man, they say 3 people. President, vice president, and secretary general. I think that's a ballpark way people able for work because it's not fair on them. And I just want to say
where do you leave the finance minister?
Yeah.
Obviously, I just want to say I think it's a topic where people for really they talk about right now. Mm-hmm. You talk about we on job. For me, it's always about. I think I lean more towards the journalism background. Waiting blogging just create for me is my independence. I'm not good with following rules. But apart from that, they are still adhere to everything we I get from the media. Credible news over rush for publication. Also, you know, impact. Whatever I do, it has to teach something. It has to communicate to the people them in the simplest form, because I think that only people already understand. Now we get imagine demography where they can say Gen Z, and those people will really not get interest in radio or TV. So you get for meet them where they are at, and you also get for find a way for communicate to them. So for me, that's what I do. Also keeping in mind, say Pademba Road is not a friendly place. So I need for stay out of Pademba Road as much as possible. So always look what they do.
You get fear. You say get fear. So even when you register with IMC, you can be regulated. So on the cyber law.
Everything. First of all, the cyber law, I think it make me a little more fearful, because maybe always they against a cyber act and I mean they tell people like, this is even worse than the public order at all and the fear, but it don't pass. So now because of that initial fear, they are twice as careful on that. And also because I'm not registered with IMC, for example, say that they take me to court for a publication, what I do. Maybe SLAJ or WIMSAL can come to me rescue, but IMC you not go legally obligated for protect me in a kind of way. So for me, that's what I always be conscious of, being fair, credible, but also the legal framework and my liability, because I'm not really, you know, tied into certain aspects of media protection.
But you get the journalism background, so that helps you with what you do and waiting you
publish. So now make I say
well.
SLAJ and WIMSAL can protect me, but also because of I understand what is required of me, you know, being very, very credible, being very, very, like I say, communicating to people in the right way, and, you know, taking cognizance of new emerging laws, the way they come, and how it affects my profession.
Yeah, Dixon, before I come to ask me quickly, before you come, when they talk about technology and the media, one area now the media way somehow is facing a challenge now the print. Okay. You're not chairman of the Guild of Newspaper Editors. You know, newspaper is like what been say. If you don't read it in the paper or not on the radio, you not believe them. Now we all every other morning I go don't read the front pages before even we go na sal post. But what's in at the trend? What's in how the newspaper aspect of the media as well? They try for catch up with what's in the happen presently.
Well, we get this thing where people theories and they call Web 2.0. We democratize the cyberspace and inadvertently democratize the media space. They crash the gatekeeping concept. That gatekeep will be the gatekeep, they close and open the door. Which you want like go inside and they go inside. Which you want like commoner do and they commoner do. So they crash them. Newspapers like radio station. Now one of the aspects of journalism were greatly affected, and in as much as they don't refer to as disruptive technology, but it's also a technology way helpful for propel or augment newspaper work. So it depends now on the newspaper for, I can always tell me colleagues there, for adapt, change focus, change strategies, because this technology don't bring what we call media convergence. We are in a Kindena newspaper now. I also do video. I also do audio. I also do my newspaper and put them online. So we encourage your colleagues, and most of them they follow. Like for me, na my own paper, I come up with a news alert because as Sarah say, the audience who gets now, the Gen Z, they don't want to read much. They don't want to read more than 3 paragraphs, more than even 1 paragraph. They don't want it. That small thing they want for know, they want to get an idea of which thing they go on. So instead of you go put on a paper, we can put on a paper, but we also they put on our news alert and circulate on our social media platform, na YouTube, na Facebook, na TikTok. What do they try for do now? Like what the New York Times is doing. On some stories, what do? Then they do video analysis. of their story then.
That what engages.
Yes. They do video analysis. So like me now, I've gotten some cameras. I don't get a room. We they do in stories that we begin do some video analysis. Just 3 minutes, 2 minutes, because there people don't want for even listen more than hour.
Is the good old newspaper dying?
It's not dying. If we able to adapt to the trend, we'll go. The only thing we're getting at this aspect, the paper wall thing, paper view.
Yeah.
It will be difficult for we. Because one will not used to the card system now and cash. People no go look history and go pay.
Is it not? It's not about prints because you have to print the adverts and all that thing, but the paper, the sale, the interest on
the sale, the interest don't they go down. So, but you also need history where you put out now you print newspaper. Would encourage newspaper. They also forget a website, not just website, functional, engaging website. Also get a Facebook, a social media presence, where I think say most of our colleagues say now they do. So for me, it's not that we are dying. The technology is forcing us to change. If you know how for change, you go die. But if you know how for die, you go change. So in the case where you know how for die, we encourage. In fact, we get to AGM, and the topic where we don't select now. Newspaper sustainability in this digital age.
Yeah.
We have to go discuss them. Not only discussion, out of that we AGM they will come up with tangible things them will go lead to training, because also what we also need training.
Yeah, for able
adapt to this technology. But this technology is here to stay. And today it don't even go further. We get AI.
Yeah.
Where they even do one whole newspaper in 2 minutes. And they even do radio program in no minute.
Yeah.
So would they try for colleagues them? That one they will still believe in this old system. Let them change. Okay. Because even with the online presence, if you are credible, we can also get now a credibility. The difference between we and the blogger, we're not in, we get credibility.
Yeah.
So for example, somebody go get issue. They say, "Well, I know I like put on a newspaper, put on a news alert for me." Because it's going far and wide.
Yeah.
So you don't want a newspaper, but you want a news alert.
So you providing a service either way.
So if I even advertise for you again, news alert, you will find out. So you see companies and they.
Yeah.
So you also get for pay. So there is a way again you go make money.
Yeah, I'll come back to you, Dixon. Ask me, you've seen it all, I'm sure. Between we and one person we don't see the changes, of the media from Usai bin Day to Usai Day now. And you lead the public broadcaster, and these changes happen. How are we adapting? How will they get the public broadcaster as well for adapt so that, with people that we grew up listening to, they tell people yesterday, they say, I grew up and they listen to Dan Moss and Ajakadi Johnson, Ajakadi Macaulay. How they go? And it's still there. The public board, there's still trust in the public broadcaster. How do we adapt?
Thank you very much, Lama. Like you say, I think you mean the oldest journalist now.
Yeah.
For nearly quarter of a century now, I don't practice, almost 25 years. And I remember when I began work as LBS. Now been used for edits. What they do current affairs program. Then by the way, been one program what they call people and events. It come 7:30. Now been used. Say before now people can begin to do kind of modern editing there. But the public broadcaster from coming to be in 2010, and by then technology been just begin coming at this part of the world. But now we just wake up one morning and see the emergence of the social media, the emergence of bloggers. When you look at what you need for open a television station, you need all sorts of gadgets. But look at what Truth Media is doing now. We not get this grandiose building. We not get a modest building. It's modern but modest equipment. When I do things the way sometimes even big media institutions are not able to do. So what thing that tell you is that we have to think out of the box. Like what in Dixon say, this technology is here to stay. me feel say this not just a vehicle where the media for join and continue in journey. Because this innovation not get for wait for you. So from the public broadcaster and your point of view, we don't realize say we have to survive, we have to live, we have to catch up. But how are we going to do that? We also get for use the same tools where the blogger they use, where others in the use. The difference between the blogger and the professional journalist maybe, the blogger, some of them, not get in-depth knowledge. They are not guided by the principles of journalism. Take for example the recent debate we happened at Parliament about constitutional amendment. I mean the bloggers they show video of waiting the speaker say or waiting this say. The one that would do the in-depth analysis, whether from the right up, whether from media interview, and the journalist. So that they show you say there is a difference between a blogger and who a journalist is. So from the public broadcaster and your perspective, we are thinking how to catch up. Now if you watch SLBC also, with the live stream programs and like Morning Coffee, even before Morning Coffee now one of the widest radio program in Sierra Leone. Now only radio been run, but we run with a live streamer now. Somebody within a US or within Europe, they listen to Morning Coffee to Facebook, with news and other and all we major programs them. So that's now one way where the public broadcaster, like what in Dixon and say, not everybody get time now for go when they say 9 o'clock. Go sit down at parlor, they watch television. But you can able to watch the news through your phone. Even if you did travel, say 9 o'clock SLBC news they come. Make her go on SLBC Facebook and watch the news.
So you know the frequency problem. So the frequency need to reach here.
That hindrance they know they. So for say okay, you need a spectrum, you need NATSCA need for you a spectrum, you need this. No, you don't need that. I can then a Kurubola are they out of Sierra Leone. I know say SLBC program 9 o'clock na news. I go on SLBC Facebook page and watch the news.
But as well, the points where we've been on the make earlier, I would make that the gatekeeping rule. Dixon mentioned that how they rush for this competition for likes, for viewership, the numbers, and not make we forget we gatekeeping rule as well. No. How do we?
Well, I think say we still manage that. Take for example, there have been some things that would happen at this country. I get several people they call me, hey DDG, ask me, but I see this thing on social media, not true, but SLBC when I don't announce them. Sometimes I say yes, now only then go believe say yes, not true. I mean this issue of for saying me first reporter, then a competition, now bloggers then you want for, but we the journal because one thing where journalists not like now for retract. For come and say, hey viewers or listeners, I'm sorry, that's what I've been saying or that's what I be right. I'm sorry, to so it be. I mean that's like professional dent on you. One, you not been do you work well. You just watch some of it and say now you first report them. So we are still guided by that rule say. Even though you want for tell the story, you want for tell the news, you want for be the first person for break the news, but also your credibility matter.
We get Gen Z the Canada newsroom them.
Yep.
They don't understand what me I been talk. They not understand what me they say. Say no, I don't want to you do and that way because a day before it's the editor when at the gatekeeper. Now you get digital media managers them. And then actually the gatekeep for we, not only the editors. Then can put things out way sometimes the editor not even know.
No, well I think so. We are, for example, at SLBC, we'll get a system where before you put out something, you need for get authorization first. We need for them vet and for say, okay, yes, this is not true. Then we give you the green light for go ahead. Like if you watch with scroll bar, you see where we can put news then they. Then they will assign them to one green person when at the head of television. Now we'll give their task there because we'll not go on tomorrow, farmer come and put something. Ask me, can I put something? Dixon, when the wrong news go, who will ask?
Yeah.
So then we could get one person who name would assign. The head of television say you
that may affect speed?
No, it not affect speed. Because any side way in there. Now the good thing is like this technology don't help you. The news can break out. The head of television no go there, not in a studio there, but he gets somebody within a control room. They call and say, hey, this news don't break out. Put another type and put another school bar. But the duty for Giddy go ahead for doing at the head of television who assign that. So once something goes wrong, we know who that they ask. Then we left and just open. Farmer Takam, he put news. Mohammed Kai put news. No, control no go there. So and that now one measure what they put. Now make I not say, but it very rare. For later then say SLBC report something we know to true. Because we very conscious say once it goes out from SLBC, normally somebody can tell you say, hey, boy, SLBC lie per wheel. Because the trust has to be. I think say all journalists forget that think in the back of we mind say, once I don't see him, I know one somebody can tell me say, hey, but that's the way you talk and lie. And now means of verification there.
Yeah.
If you want for something to happen at this ministry, if you not get the minister in number, you not get the deputy, you not get the communications person, I'm sure there is a way how you go able to reach out for verify before ever it goes out. Because once it goes out, like I say, for Lee come back and say, Fambule, I saw you, that's why I be right, or that's why I say, not to true. Me, I can see and say a dent on the profession. I'm not like that at all for it.
Edward, you know, I don't say the way the media they right now, for me, in my own perspective, my own opinion, there's never been a time where the public audience gets different thing for choose from as it is presently with the technology. I can go to SLBC in the morning, like ask me to say, and start with morning coffee, move to Truth, go to 98, go to Liberty, go to AYV. If I want to read long form and in-depth analysis, I can go to Engage and get it there. If I want to read some of the funny things same way they happen at courts, or then funny story then at courts, right? I can go to Sarah Kale and I get Andy. You know, I remember Reverend Matthew Kwate and I died, we've been the 98.
Yeah.
I was listening to Reverend Matthew Kwate with the interesting court stories there. Yeah. I missed that. Yeah. But if I want to hear about somebody in jail for 180 years for something, I can read it from Sarah Kale in blog. The critical perspective and political issues and the rate card, whose minister passed, whose minister failed, I can get that from Dixon as well. So Engage, the value addition to what they do presently. What's in the idea of getting what's Engage they do presently now the media industry?
Yeah, good question. So what should they try for do basically? I will tell stories in very simple terms. That are a fundamental part of part of the vision. Mm-hmm. Let me put it that way, because like you describe them, there's so much going on in the media, and if you not take turn, sometimes it becomes noisy. Mm-hmm. I get overwhelmed. I don't know about you.
I do.
Yeah, very easy. Okay, because there's so much happening, so much. Social media. The moment you open any of the social media apps, everything they did, and it's so much. So that information highway they, you know, vehicle they come also if you don't take they bang you. You understand? So what can we do? Let us look at where the gaps are. And one of the areas that will say the gap there, now telling in-depth stories, picking one story and telling it properly from the perspective of ordinary people. You know. So that is something that we want to be doing. That is something that we want to build on. That is something that we want to perfect and create an identity around. But then there's also something else. The so what question. When you go journalism school, not one of the things that they tell you. Yeah, it's mostly about what happened, the 5 W's and and H. Yeah. What happened, Usai happened, would have been involved, and this and that and that. But then we also think that because you get so much information out there, people also really need to understand what does this really mean in ordinary terms. Like, why should I care about this? Yeah. So they asked me, my young colleague the other day, they talk about Gen Z there, and say, like, what thing will make you care about governance? What thing will make you care about politics? What thing will make you give a damn, about what thing they happen at the news? You know? And then for me, I think it's also about the ordinary person na street. So how do we pick what's in the happen and try for explain sometimes, which we try to do.
The explainers,
and just explain them to people and say, okay, you might take this for granted, but this is what it means, and this is how it could impact you. This is also something we want to build, perfect, and build an identity around. So, like you say, options then they everywhere. You guys are doing an amazing job. You get new players coming all the time. So what we want to do is we want to see where the gaps are and waiting we can able for do for help the audience for understand and for make sense. And then we get with editorials also.
Yeah, Saturday not for book.
Saturday not for book. You know,
you can book and read your editorial.
Yeah, you can book, you know, like Ibrahim 9 tell me the other day why I say Saturday not for editorial. Now I say, but Saturday also for book. So the last time we do it now, I will able to say Saturday also for book no more, also for go market.
Yeah.
Saturdays are for editorials too.
Yeah.
But if you used to the newspapers,
Yeah.
you know, of the yesteryears, if you like,
Yeah.
or back in the day, newspaper didn't get editorial.
Yeah.
So
Professor
editorial, yeah, editorial na ya una they bring una your voice. As a media outlet, this is where you bring your own perspective to issues. This is where you say, you analyze, but you also say how you see it, call out what you get for call out.
Bring solution.
And sometimes, yeah, you can say, okay, we think say that the best way is for approach them. But then what's in the editorial GUI? It give you an opportunity for provide with perspective on critical national issues them where you know they do not the news.
Yeah.
Because then they tell you, say, when you're doing news, you are not editorializing. You treat the news as it is, you treat the story as it is. But then if you want for editorialize, that is where we do it.
Me and you don't dey na a setting outside Gen Z then they right. So we took care too much about government. They not care. Once they get the music, they enjoy themselves.
Cruise.
Exactly.
Cruise, that is like
Yeah, but say I mentioned something and Dixon said mention and they not look out for the too much long thing until we go just call and watch. So how do you get this point to say even with the editorial or the short form things that they do, people are able to follow and understand what's in their point and ask themselves, this is why I for be concerned about the constitution.
Maybe the editorial also for Gen Z. But I don't say. I mean, no. I also, you see, sometimes when we talk about Gen Z,
Then Gen Z the vex.
There's always the risk.
I sound like they say they're not serious.
there's always the risk of no, it's true. There's always the risk of generalizing.
Maybe they are too liberal. It's not that they are not serious, they are too liberal.
I work with a young person now, and the things that they learn, just understanding them, understanding their world, understanding them behavior. I think they appreciate them, that experience thing. Like on a school, they are so. You understand? But let's also be careful how we generalize.
Yeah.
That demographic day.
Yeah.
Because you get Gen Z that we care about politics. You get Gen Z that we care about business, about economics.
Yeah.
You know. But then maybe for the one we not care, the editorial maybe not to for them. Or that long article we will write, tell a story about a young girl we get pregnant, teenage pregnancy. So the intern work in our office, maybe the time for do that for social media. By the end of the story, he's saying depressed. It's not the worst story that they don't deal with because it was about fistula. You understand? That was that story we did about fistula. I don't know if you see him, but it's so long. You get all things inside it, but it's so long. Me say we publish and no say it long. You understand? Maybe that sort of story is not for that kind of person day. So what you also need for acknowledge, it's fine to say this content is not for you. It's fine to say the editorial what they do on Saturday, not for this demographic. It's okay. And if they're not come for come, if they're not,
So you get audience preference.
it's fine. Exactly. So you the one way they make the content get for decide say this content why they make so this editorial why they publish so now for specific people them are they publish them. But then it's also important that we consider that demographic day. We get things in the pipeline now because we every day we talk about it, we think about them. How do we make content for young people that is about politics, that is about governance, that is about the economy? Why should they give a damn about the economy? Why should they give a damn about politics? Why should they care? So then content that we think about them now and we fair way them for approach them. So we are not isolating them, but every content where you make no go be for everybody.
So that's the point of what Dixon is saying.
Yeah.
You've already for adapt as things they change.
Yeah.
And they think ahead. They work the pressure is plenty.
Yeah.
And some of the people when they get the pressure, I get female colleagues saying and sometimes a few days ago I see one later and I was asking her, why are you still here? I say, now students as well, they say they try for completing dissertation. But I can imagine how much it means for then space here. You get for stay late, the challenges, how vulnerable people can take advantage sometimes on people that are vulnerable. Istina, as president of WIMSAL, I've been mentioned earlier, there was this report we talk about the challenges where female journalists in the face now the newsroom and even online out of the newsroom. Are things changing with the level of awareness and people in the where they come out and speak and all people are accountable? Even within we self, all we self accountable as journalists?
Yeah, things are changing a lot. Now 2 reports. The one on the like this gender audit representation for check how many women they will get at the media whose position with them all. The second one now on sexual harassment in the media landscape. Now a report and then do BBC Media Action then do them for different other countries, them Salon included. A lot has changed because when we be the go come up some 18 years ago when we joined the media, you know, get mind come out and say me boss sexually assaults me or me boss they harass me. Now something where you talk you colleague they tell you say no, put your voice down. And an issue where they take make nothing. Now you man colleague, if you tell them that kind of story, they go say, if I tell Thomas say me boss I say, but be another game, you get for accept that. Yeah, now so it been used for B.
Yeah.
But things are changing and we are happy about it because we not been get data around gender representation. We've been just a talk and at the top of we aid. Then we also not been get data when it comes to sexual harassment. Now, because of the reports there, we are trying to put things in place. The first thing where we try, so we get the gender working group, the technical action working group on gender, where we get different organizations, SLAJ, Guild of Editors, we get different organizations, WIMSAL, that we are the chair. What we try for do now for look at all of them here and see how we go put things them in place. The first thing we come out of this, we now something we boil out of this report now the sexual exploitation, abuse and harassment mechanism where we want for make it we set up so that woman journalists them and man journalists have key reports, but woman journalists them key able for reports them here because we found out say when they report now the radio stations or media houses them they not can take them too serious. So you can escalate them to we. So now BBC Media Action being also do these short studies and come with experts for can look at how we could set up this mechanism. Now after that one day we been do a validation workshop and then the woman them say they want for know how for sports waiting a sexual harassment. Waiting na the tiniest thing like yesterday we were in a panel and then Marina Terry was saying when it can be online on air then somebody say how boy fresh you don't reduce me from being a journalist. Would you tell you that you leg fresh you even if you wear shorts to this kind of studio? Nobody will say that, but they would say it to a woman. So those tiny things people can feel say, you know,
compliment sometimes.
Thank you. So we can that workshop where BBC Media Action be host before even Edward left. I mean Edward in final thing and then we put out the words and like, oh today you will see kak panda dress though. That is not a compliment undertone of sexual everything. So these are all of the things. So recently BBC Media Action
aren't we becoming more Western?
we're not becoming Western. So BBC Media Action like donates few things them for let we start the mechanism. But what we want for do for us and that are women in the media, we want for host this whole national policy dialogue forum. And we host them this Friday. We invite station managers, stakeholders then at the media. Let we can sit down and talk about the report. We talk about the report. Yes, definitely. And your invitation they come. We want for can sit down and we get a presentation of the report. Then we put together a safeguarding charter where we expect media houses then go sign, then go make commitments to, because we want a media house wherein issues around harassment, abuse, and other workplace issues the way they affect women will be taken seriously and not going to be trivialized. And at that make we work towards that. But there has been a lot of changes and also resistance there, because people like how Tommy say if we are not westernizing, Tommy, oh no, we are not, unfortunately.
The reason why I say that you know, in some parts of the Western world, if you tell a woman that you look good, it's amount to sexual harassment. So I agree they wouldn't improve. Before now you get this whole sexual harassment thing and fear in the underground, you know, and I think say WIMSAL don't do well for bring them to light. Now female then get confidence for talk about these issues. I not believe say anybody for go work now workplace based on if then it subject himself to some sexual trauma for go. I believe say woman as well as man them forget the same platform for go. Again, me no want for too much. Another aspect where I want to look at now the opportunity given to women in the newsroom. You know, me don't get a reporter, a female reporter, sent in a court. Say there most of the content are from court. Doing very well. And a grumble say, I go send me in a court. I said, what? I begin get example of people the way don't report court. When me sabi from where I come into journalism a court and they report and then go. Some even from reporting court, they even they don't become lawyers.
Yeah.
So I give an example. So sometimes the timidity of female colleagues them for sending a certain aspect, certain bits, they can be so fear. You know, we as boss also get as boss they also get for tell them. I remember we Istina and I was start to the Ministry of Information as we beat for go take report. It was difficult for us at that time.
Yeah.
But we managed to it. Yeah. Some of them will end up with encourage them and I forbid all this so they like we work out them. Not get transport, but we work out from long distance they can't talk to reach our offices. So again, I think that aspect of let the female journalism break the glass ceiling.
All right. Tommy,
we get fear of una we don't do, but we need more.
No, we have more coming up.
Yes.
We have fearless journalists.
Yeah, we get
like the lady journalist now, Tiana.
Yeah.
And I like the enthusiasm. I like the way she puts herself forward. Like, and when it go, there is no fear. But I'll tell you something, Lama. I always can say this. Maybe me and Edward don't get enough conversation for make like we agree to certain point them. Edward, if board. Like we get different body with the fly, right? Like
Take
this
Iba for example.
Thank you. Iba, for example.
Iba don't begin loss.
Like you get different body of the fly, but if chicken they don't show and say na land board. And not able for fly. So there is always the stereotype when we come inside news with Tommy. Yeah. Then they tell you say no, this not a woman journalist waiting this. So me don't get where we sit on the production meeting. Me head of production they say it's Tina go ask how then Amos then they sell the market, do the market bit. When they not tell us say Mr. Neil I know they do a more. Today are they go to parliament or are they go so I test all of the bits them and I feel like say for me because me niche always like you when you come inside you get for offender niche and I can't begin report on sexual abuse, sexual exploitation. Then I be me niche when I dey mainstream to me you know Lama himself. Then imagine I been a work from morning to then when me I been producer. Now you can go pull me. So one incident me day I was pregnant 2012. I was heavily pregnant, and they said, "Bella woman, work on net." Me, I work out because I get for produce. Yeah. So nobody, when the production kingdom on me, I call Lama. Lama, they left Star.
We've been there near.
Yeah.
AYV been there. Shaka Stevens Street, Coffee Nicholas.
It they left Star. It come. It go help me take. Once if you don't pass 11, where go let me for take transport. But these are all of the sacrifices we make. And to me, I don't want to disagree with what you say. Like the convenience for certain women and say, oh, well, I just want to look fine and sit on that TV. No, please. You have to do whatever it is. Like I can say, when I begin my journalism, not a mainstream I start as a broadcaster. Now radio I am. 2008 now I start. Then 10 and day, now you put the big gen, now you go put her on no. Because now by shifts, by the time you come, where see you come, the person sign out. Now you put the gel.
You know the technical man.
I don't know everything. Like
I can tell these guys I mean I've been continuity announcer.
Yeah,
I dey sleep na net. I dey sleep na star. I mean they work as DJ in the morning. I present the morning show. Yeah.
I don't sleep because they not can. I don't sleep more than how many times now waiting because they not can relieve me. Somebody not come. A call when rain they come under rain. It tell me say able cold full up in body. You dey left the waiting, una dey run 24 hours. These are all of the things. And
okay,
yes, go ahead.
I just want
please.
to get in bite on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think say in as much as the sky for say women are being marginalized, being discriminated against, yes, that is true. But also, as somebody who don't manage newsroom, don't see how some of we female colleagues can carry themselves, for example. You go tell some woman, say, can't go do this news. You say, me the kind of address what today.
Yeah, exactly.
An officer agreeable that kind news this. I say, wait. What in the dressing get for do with the work we want go do? Come on, if you don't left you don't kind of newsroom, you forget the preparation. Say I can do any kind of news.
Yeah.
But the woman himself for preparing mind say when the kind of newsroom, you forget this intention. Say I can for report on anything from politics to economy to health, corruption, anything.
But not to woman problem. So sus never they were any waka.
Yeah. It's natural.
Say this sus now we not for waka any waka.
And
So not to woman problem.
When we be, you know now, with the past 7 o'clock, me I did say 11 o'clock on our radio, right? But a lot of people go tell say me boyfriend not degree, my man not degree, right? So women they also they tell say they know how for go in the field because field work is hard. Me I like to go in the field. I don't even get plabber with some certain times and politician they tell you, oh no man they get start with them go, but me I go for dinner the motorcar to now sleep inside the motorcar, jump in the morning, and like you say. And I think the only time I start for wearing heels was when I start for working at State House. Because I know so I reach, no matter what time, when they call me say go out, I'm going out. So until I go out, they meet there, they say rally or protest, I'm going there. I'm not going for cancer at the Sidona studio. So again, in as much as the space is tight, women they probably need for challenging themselves more. I'm not trying to be perfect. I just feel like say a lot of times, I know I call them you were at Star, right? Some women, I remember like 2. When they come, they do their makeup, they sit down, you tell them go out there. They put on.
But that's happened with men too. I don't I've worked with men. I've worked with men too.
It's happened with but the rate at what would the rate at which you want to open the space to women.
Can I show you?
It's still not make the point.
It's not.
When they tell us
What's in our support?
This phone, you know,
our support in point now.
the teacher say, you know, they fly.
What you want for say is
So the
that
teacher say enough for enough for reports on critical
there is this story
because he was certain should.
There is this story about the eagle, where the eagle, the egg, the bonam, usai fall lady. He grew up
Like fall.
thinking that in a fall, enable for fly. So there's this thinking among our female colleagues that they should be go for them market story, beauty. No, they therefore begin to think like eagle. And we also, as men, them therefore give them the space for let them fly.
Yeah.
So for me,
we don't on this part, but I want to hear from Edward quickly. Then at the country.
I agree with you. So they are lazy men.
Yeah, plenty, man.
Very lazy people.
Some man they just want.
Tell me what you want.
Yesterday, I get a phone call from a colleague editor where he do a story where they call me say, "Bo, this man this story." They send the story to me, so I call him. I say, "Bo, it's laziness. This story you don't get, you say allegation. Your duty now for call the other side. Simple. So this is also happen with men, but we want more women in the profession, and this is a profession over the years where I think we have been biased to man them than to woman over the years.
Yeah.
So I think say we need for give the woman the space. We don't get woman the way they excel at this profession.
Plenty.
In
Plenty,
time.
yeah.
You know? So we need more of those caliber of women. We need them into the space. But again, we will go in mass communication with Edward go tell you to colleagues there when a woman them. They don't have for campaign journalism. We not get money.
I will tell you so many
They want to be
things.
PR. They want to be development
I can tell you
communication.
10 different
Yes, that's what they want.
No, it's still an I don't with you on this. Edward, watching our hearing from you, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the different perspective about woman and the way they come and say no one gets it? I hear you they say it's not a woman problem, right? And no one gets into this beat. This is too tough for me. Now this side me one day now ain't easy for me. The light side I go and do interview and can package them and put them out.
Whilst it might be common with we woman colleagues them, I will still say back not to woman problem. Not so because they're not woman. So you need to go back, like I tell you at the joke say, working, me now I like waka. You understand? My office there inside town, so I like for waka. But some way they wear the dress, some suits they wear the way, and they tell myself say no, this are not the waka. You understand? And if you don't condition the woman say it get for appear a certain way, because we demand already for kind of office anyway we want for dress. It's okay, but the woman they expect her for look a certain way, and as part of that pressure, they for look a certain way for please everybody else, you get for making self a certain way it dress some kind. And when you send her out for go cover story, you don't wear a high heel way now you want for make you wear. You don't put that makeup way. If you not put that makeup on, they put on a screen. You understand? When I say not fine enough for leg, you not get camera face. And that's what I go say. You don't do all that one day. You expect her for go down way back.
No.
You understand? But that's not the only problem. I think we need for interrogate the environment and the upbringing. It still not make a point about fall, and Dixon also make the point about the eagle where the hatch with fall them. You understand? And me they go back to the Iba because Iba they lost now.
It's a Iba.
Iba lost. It's a serious conservation because Iba don't swim. You understand? So while some of them here they are few, then they win a natural traits them. A lot of it is evolutionary. A lot of it is something you learn. You understand the space within which you they operate. So if the environment don't teach you as a young girl or as a young woman coming into the newsroom, then nobody tell and say, now this kind of story that you need for the do, now this you get for the do, now this you get for the do. And from even in school days when they do them play, they never condition them for make it behave a certain way. That young titi, that way they grow up.
Yeah.
So it's not if they train you the man that same way they, now that same way they behave. So
one
day they train for
problem.
cook. Some body when they train for cook is small. Where big is a big cook bad.
Yeah.
Na woman thing. No.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think we like for say the woman would qualify them. Okay, there's a problem about woman in the media, but the woman herself they know they tried, they know they can before. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't think that's fair.
I can't tell you. I still not agree with you. Ask me, SLBC gets a model. The DG is a woman, and there are a lot of women them way they do stories, them sports and other things. Them, you know, how do we get that across the board somehow? It's happening. I get my colleagues and I way head of we newsroom now woman, and I get my colleagues with it. But how you don't stay around for it, you don't see the changes. How do we see that happening? You know, down the line.
Well, I think SLBC they on a very good path when it comes to empowering women. We don't get women the way head of newsroom. We don't get women the way they report na parliament. We don't get women the way they report na court. We don't get women the way they report na. I mean, if you look at State House for, I mean, the way we been report for Tijankara, Famata Kamara. After Anes Koma, Razia Kamara. After Razia, when President Biyo came, when they would take over na Margaret. So if you look at SLBC, the history of those who have been at State House, we are all women. If you go to Parliament, Salma Tawa, for example, been there at Parliament. So we're not the limit woman and for say, okay, this woman in a market story for go report on. Take for instance this lady where they wife now Esther.
Yeah,
Esther na been sport she did well on sports.
Yeah.
If you put Esther also for sport, it did well past some money.
Now the best.
Take Frances Bernard for example also on sports. If Frances is the report sport, you know compare them to some man themselves. So we not say because of this na woman, this na man. Limit me if you gonna I can give you man then task. Because me, as far as I'm concerned, I need to look at your gender. But I give you responsibility. Now your competence I look at. For say this now woman last. No.
We also have to be sensitive to the needs there.
No?
Because the needs are unique sometimes, you know.
Yeah, of course. So I feel say the media and people one thing I want to disagree with for say the woman they know they take up charge. Go and look at the history of journalism inside. Look at the woman they will not make name. The Bernadette Cole, for example.
Yeah.
Josephine Esley there. Then come the tell where the atmosphere and all, you know compare them to now. But they will brave them, then compete with men, and they did better than some men. So if those ladies them in do and then tell me waiting for stop woman now. So if you say just be bold, just be confident, and not care if somebody want for limit you, tell and say no, I'm not there also for go report na Mabela no more. I dey report na Mabela. Are they report na State House? Are they report Parliament? Are they report anything under the sun? You do man get that mind frame. Get that frame. They say when I come into the newsroom now for report on anything. But if you want for limit yourself, where they say go report, say, well, hey, today editor me this high heel. What? Yes, you can go to high heel, but please,
get shoes.
that's what that's inside you.
No, they have back in there. Sell away the show and it's still and get their back.
I mean, of course, when you go on screen, not for appear and look good. I'm not gonna expect for say they send you for let go do a coverage outside for say you for makeup for good. I mean, for be decent, man and woman for be decent. Whether you a man or you a woman, appear good. They say how you dress go now, Wojo.
I said it.
So you're going to serve you. Istina, we close on this. We need to close now. I get one general question I can ask, but we close on this. You know, you get a different perspective. We're getting to the point, Usai, we all accept and realize, say, una not to that, don't pass that point, Usai, they say, no, a woman and voting at this corner. You can do it better than us. And you accept that, eh?
Yeah.
You agree say the media has changed and we get woman editors them, publishers them, we get woman them, is it both mass? Both woman you get owners, you get people already do different thing and it's changing. And that's what you expect and that is what is happening.
Yeah, that's what is happening. But you know, waiting can bothersome. Now when you come you start a conversation on sexual harassment or abuse, and then the next response from a man or a woman now for say, oh, well, the woman themselves no they try. No, we're not dealing with that. Let me tell you something. Out of the woman they where they face harassment, now the one where they try for pull their head up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is not the ones where I heal where sit on a newsroom. No, it is not the ones where they conform. So this is what we're trying to say. We have so many good women them on our own state, and we have professional women in the media where they practice. Then they put all the energy inside it. When you left give them work, then they do the work to perfection. But we get things that where they limit them, when not limits demand them. And that is the conversation we need to have when we start a conversation around sexual harassment or abuse or workplace harassment or workplace issues like pay issues. Now I work the same as other man them. Una go say from where me una will begin for work to me or waiting. I've worked with Edward for years. There is Edward no go tell me say I have ever neglected my work, and all of the woman them will pass under we through Edward no go ever tell we say, but like people like Edward or the organization where we don't work, then create that platform they follow we see ourselves as equal, which is not present. And how can we start a conversation? How can we start this conversation for talk about woman they need for step up without us dealing with the things where they limit them?
Okay. What are those things limiting them?
A lot.
So how will you get better than employee?
Of course. Now when
you born, they give you maternity.
Edward, when I tell you something, when I've been there,
maternity leave.
Oh no, wait me. When I've been there, so we don't talk waiting natural, waiting for adding.
I have heard a former president of SLAJ say, you know, they employ women then because of the Digebele.
Thank you, women. So now that is
it was an unfortunate,
very unfortunate.
Now let's make a donia. When I've been there mainstream media, and I was pregnant, I did all of the story. You know, Starbon. I went for police. I got police. I mean, what did they that day? And when they told me, I got police press conference. You remember? I can't on the stairs. I don't know if I £1 I see. I say it's not the worker soon. I then office at the type news. Nine me water boss. I walk that kind of way. And you know why I make afraid? I don't get mine take leave because if I take leave, what can my space no go there? I born 2 months. I then also they breastfeed, and I'll be one for the exclusive breastfeeding. I then also they breastfeed, and they call me say if I not come, me place the waiting. The news, you know, the empty. Now maybe they read 6 o'clock news because I come out. Then they why the men are born. I go Eastern. I come out Eastern for come. I pull me picking pan Bobby 2 months. Please, no, listen. We are asking for equal opportunities, but also we are asking you to be considerate that we will give back to children. We will take some time. It take force for like woman who say the placenta sidom. And when it come out na big wound if you dip a man, you know the survive. It take more than 10 weeks for like woman and come back in body come together. My body not be even come together. I had to go to work.
I know it's
The issues are many.
There are many, but one thing where I will ask you, Sarah, quickly before I come and we conclude this conversation.
Well, cake day?
Nah, yeah, cake day. I got cake inside. It is. I can't serve. Yeah. No, the cake day. Man ask for cake, man ask for dinner. And lunch go kanjis. But when I start this, but quickly, the online harassment and how you thrive. How has it been, and how you think, say, other young journalists or female journalists could handle that? Because I see you don't go through a lot of storm, threats, abuse. But sometimes the way you come and handle them and make fun out of them, I'm sure the people themselves go see, say, no, this law just allow a lay go, lay do what they do. We're not able to intimidate them. How you think say that can be handled, and what's your recommendation or advice?
I think the main thing I can always say, I think Edward mentioned it, it's not about me, it's the news. I'm not the news. If I report something, I agree with her. It's not on me, challenge the issue, that's not the main thing. One of the most awkward or two situations where I face, it began for the one with a rapper, another one with the famous ghost platform. People were coming at me, but for me it's like, if you have your evidence, take it to court. As long as I know I'm just doing my job, it not faze me. You can attack me and everything, but that now because probably I get thick skin, so I can just want for advise people, especially women, if you want to make name in any situation, especially certain sectors like the media, for example, focus on the work, try to be as professional as possible, and the rest is just noise. For me, that's the main thing. I see things, I read about it, I know it's not relevant to my career, I don't feel the onus for responding. It's not on me, that's not you character flaw, it's not on me, I'm just doing my job. And most of the time SKB, they just report on court. I have 8 reporters here, and they all get in bit areas. Me, I'm just the editor. Now I hardly even write. So when I'm editing editing stories, I remove myself. I'm just the editor. The news is not about me. My bias, I keep unto myself. But I think a lot of people, including men, find that difficult for remove themselves and just focus on the news. Yeah. That's what I do. Patricia Ghana, Philip Neville, that's what they tell us. You're not the news. Keep your opinion to yourself. Just write. If I get an editorial, I always do
that's
videos.
What Philip Neville told you.
Yes. That's me. Good things. Exactly. If I get an editorial, I do a video. So if you're coming at me for the video, then it's my opinion.
Yeah, and you stand by that, you go defend.
I will respond. You give me violence, I'll give you violence. But other than that, if it's just the news, I don't feel anything.
Dixon, I want to ask you 2 things before I come to ask me and Edward. The issue of public interest media, been talked about them briefly. What do you think about Usawide presently? We had a big conference. There were commitments from government for put money on this. Now, I'm so worried that Manika, they say, money no dey, government no give money, and the partner they say, if government no give, they no they give. Is this something that we're losing? A very brilliant idea.
What's this public interest media or journalism, government, and we all need to understand now the information with the people they need. Right now, within a state of information overload all over the world. We make public interest journalism vital. That information where journalists it goes medicine in a corner, for example. It go know the reason why make medicine in a corner. It bring account to light, them go put medicine in. And then kind information in a public interest journalism. We all this beautiful workshop. Government make, I think that the president go launch.
Yeah.
They make commitment. It's so sad that the counterparts, the other party, don't give the young force money. Government just $100,000 where more money for come for enhance journalism capacity, for do what they call accountability journalism or investigative journalism. Go research, go do investigation on money where government don't spend, perhaps not reach people them. Go investigate which are the needs of people in a certain areas. Government they refuse for one. And every now and then when government official like the Minister of Information come, the Deputy Minister of Information or somebody in the Ministry of Information, then go just make a statement in passing. Oh, we are on it, we are committed. So that's why when Manika is saying that commitments have been made about the chapter 12, because commitments have been made about many things in this country, many things. Those commitments never come into fruition from that didn't term to now to we on term. So for me, I think say government need to be serious about some of them things here.
Ask me,
especially when they partner with some then they get them the government, they lost trust internationally. That's why I always give them small money. They on side. And I don't aware of some projects where similar thing happen. A government where World Bank will say, okay, we are counterpart funders. Government can put their own money, for let government put their money.
No problem. Estina, you get something?
Yeah, so that is the same thing. So when I've been go do calls in the US, I come with some firefighters then a salon. And then firefighters them have been for trained firefighters. They come 8 of them and can do training, then do everything where that be like an exchange from bring an American to Sierra Leone because we don't go to America. Fast forward to the point that now the firefighter then a salon for comots for go America. The only thing the Bloomington Fire Department asked for was for a commitment. You know what's not the commitment? Now for the government buy the plane tickets no more. They were going to be certified as international firefighters. They were going to do the course. They were going to be certified. They know are they behind them? Okay, are they behind them? They stopped picking my calls. Few people asked me, so what will go get from the Andy? Man, how hopeful are this country? Well, and this can make some we with the vex. You understand? I was just joking with Sarah, who sit on her door. I say the certain thing and the way if we talk something, we go end up. Bad problem. So now I make cookie set with much. But imagine that kind of thing. Now this for me don't transform. They were supposed to, so the African Fire Commission, them we don't already like, but them we want for make them get few fighters them firefighters them will get certification internationally. You know what happened? They were supposed to send in equipment away worth 1.5 million.
To salon.
Yes. My network were in there, they fund over $15,000 for do this project. The second phase of the project, we could not do anything. They claim I'm on COVID. We asked for an hybrid situation, meaning we do some online and then we come here. Nothing happened, unfortunately. So I just bring that example because of waiting to
No, but we hope say the public interest media fund no go turn.
Now we the public interest media fund, like I always say, me interest na woman there. You understand, because the first money for Sweden Giden grants we see Liberty gets now woman own. Mama Kaifona gets not woman own, and we were so happy about. We were pumped about it. Now we get
and Mama Kaifona was going through some constraint.
Exactly, help for rebuild. So now, if that money they day, it means say more with female journalists. Then even say then they do online waiting, then bypass the traditional gatekeepers, starting their own platforms. Like if I have $4,000, I can start something online. Please, do you let me
ask now that, you know, as the public broadcaster, right? When they under pressure, say this idea is this should be an independent institution. Una for carry them stories that they talk about. So now say we need money for let them give let we do them. The expectation is SLBC. They get the money for able to do them. I just ask as the deputy DG, can they under pressure and there are these challenges so we all they face as media people?
Oh well, you know, sometimes the issue of SLBC being not given the opportunity for do critical story, sometimes a myth. I go tell you say it's one of the days of SLBS. I mean, me I work under SLBS and I do under SLBC. The days of SLBS, I mean, information ministry and any control, anything they happen na SLBS and them then. When I want for do certain news, if you not please the minister, you not please the permanent secretary information, you need one. The minister will just come and say, "When I stop this news," it happened on the SLBS days. Yes, but from where the corporation come into being SLBC, to now, from 2010 to now, on the IB Kagbo, I never member say IB Kagbo take phone. Call the DG then they or from IB Kagbo come Rado Soiree, for say Rado take phone and call, say stop this program or do this or not do this news. Come up from Rado come to Siba. And they talk as a Muslim and they lie.
Yeah.
That not ever happen it. Honestly. And we get another thing also. Now some of the people that we transition from SLBS to SLBC, they still get this mindset. Some of them still get this mindset. Say, hey, how we work under SLBS? Hey, if I can't do this kind of critical story, hey, then go call me in a state house or then go call me in the information ministry. Now make us na myth. But the DG no ever see don't tell person say. I mean, from Banabom to Kapua to Josephine, no ever tell reporters say not do this news because this news very critical. What thing me and Josephine can tell reporter, everything Kapua been they tell or Banabo say, make sure say the news way they do them professionally, get all sides to the story. No bias, no put your opinion on the story. Where the story go out. But I remember during the days of Anis Baikoma, for example, Ivan. Later, if I Lagos, if I was
how will I end up na EU the reports?
At the camp. That
just one camp.
No, that's a discussion for another one day.
Not on the EU no more. Wait, other issue there.
Remember the days of this game will not go one reporter go do one story. You understand? I mean, a very critical story, but State House not glad. Somebody from State House, not even just somebody from State House working in the office or because you know State House to get power. You just call no more, call Ivan and tell and say, this story has so why wanna do it. Now Ivan say, hey, why they ask me why I wanna do this story? Now Ivan ask, but he say this story, he offend anybody? Yes, he offend State House. Now Ivan say how? How you offend State House? When Ivan go, he listen to the story. Let him know wrong go. Now Ivan like he said, I say wanna pump the story back safely. Another example. Another example. Come on, VP office and tell them the back. He camp a program. Nobody no invite him. He just come and say in camp a program. Now they ask the police. And then say you invite this person. Now he say no. Now he say I like you not police for me. I come on a VP office. And they say no sir, that's not the way it operates. So we not produce for you know you can bump in normal like that and can because you come on a VP office. You just they can't say you can't pop. No, I say respectfully sir. We not produce for you. Return. If you want to take part per program, call the producer. The producer will call you. You come another day. So some of them say people don't say that they happen. We not stop anybody for doing what somebody say whenever they do a story. I mean whether na SLBC or na 90 na AYV. They are certain stuff
that they ask about the EU report.
No, that's a discussion for another day. I want people to get time.
There are a couple of issues when me notice. The apparent interference of the current minister on 2 occasions. Before now, we interfere and suspended staff. We not get the power. Section 12 of the SLBC Act no get the power. And we are hearing about another interference about
the appointment about the appointment of J.T.
as director of.
And the board is fighting with that.
And it's going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So those you know get for be direct interference, but appointment of people like influence editorial policy of an institution. So for me, I think say well they ask me I can understand your position. I understand your position very well. But the fact is, and the EU report where Edward mentioned clearly states the SLBC in the times of the election they were biased. But as you say, time not there for long.
We not get.
But there are instances of which we don't see. Ivan Ajibola Thomas, maybe now that make no getting job.
Yeah.
Because some of those things, he look at himself as a journalist.
Yeah.
Whereas other directors will not look at themselves as journalists. Sometimes you not go say, even for transfer person, you not go say directly, now this person called me. But sometimes you do some starting story and transfer you. Pull you come on and send you up line. Because of certain story we do.
Yeah. It's still quickly, I need for country.
So the sacking of Umuta Onka was orders from above. Orders from above.
Now SLBC no address.
And SLBC, we take the SLBC to IMC, and then we take the states to ECOWAS because the state need for change something that the national broadcaster, because the women they're not protected, there are no safeguarding procedures. Everybody can do what they want if not then they in charge. Now that woman was sexually harassed and he reports to the director general. By then the director general just scold the person but not take proper action. Now IMC will say SLBC for pay this woman and they say they not follow due procedure, they not do the right thing for dismiss them, so therefore pay the woman money 30 days. SLBC not call we yet.
No, but I mean the IMC ruling, SLBC can challenge them.
Okay,
appeal.
But una not challenge, una not appeal.
The ruling not sacrosanct.
No, but una not challenge.
I mean say because IMC don't get that ruling, so that's
but we not see the challenge. We would love for them to challenge.
They would challenge procedure.
Yes.
If the procedure where IMC used was wrong.
Yeah, it was. If it was wrong,
not necessarily the decision.
We're not hearing about it. For some challenging.
One thing, I think if IMC get the pardon like a high court.
Yes.
So one time you say if high court
So
don't
you
give
go for
ruling,
judicial review.
you know, you forget IMC and Lead Jonathan.
But
Yeah, it was a judicial review.
IMC gave a ruling against Jonathan. Jonathan challenged the ruling.
Okay.
So let's challenge it.
Okay.
No word, no nothing.
Okay, we will continue this conversation. Edward, I know you're very keen on public interest media.
Yeah.
I know the work you do from BBC
They make the
Media.
money woke up a few times.
Exactly. You know, you
Hopefully not.
You get hope that this go be something we not able to achieve. I'm worried. I'm looking forward to the cash and they.
No, I mean, can you imagine? When I don't do all this work, by now when I for able for apply for the next round. Because we will try for do after that pilot phase, learn which we get for learn from the pilot. And by the way, it was a successful pilot.
Yeah.
You know, the outlets they will get the grants, they did a good job, everybody deliver, or we get a very very robust, fund or grant manager in MRCG. We make sure say everything go on well. We take couple. And what we'll learn, one of the things that we'll learn safe during the pilot day. Now say just the process of trying to get the grant also help outlets.
Yes.
Because I hear you say some man don't even get bank account in the name of the business.
Yes.
So if they don't tell you say Dixie,
The documentation.
you don't get this grant to, but this money will transfer to Thomas Dixie. No.
Yeah.
This money for go na new age. So you go set up account. So we get stories like the one and the way because this grant go to outlets them institutionally they're able to increase their self-young capacity. You understand? So it was a good thing. So it's not also just the money we come to them. And we're looking forward to the next round. I mean, as we speak now, couple of days, for make we go into the next phase. And it will be a shame if we're not able to build on this momentum and build on the gains we don't make. Because that by the time we come to that grant day, yeah, you understand? Not to be one day woku. When I don't talk about the conference. So from the conference there was this gap. Conference now been when? 2022?
Yeah, it was 2022, yes.
Yeah. So from conference to the primed project, wait. We able to get small money, if PIM gets small money, and then we put money inside the basket for do the grants. Yeah. So it take years for me to get to that point. So what will be the hope for now for able for just build on that momentum there, and if government been give you money, you probably for able to find another donor
with the match that grant, yeah.
Or just by that money they no more sell, we able for use them and open another round of grant making. But a lot of things that they will need for land from this. You understand? One of the things for me personally, now say we can't plan these things around government money.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not able for Yusuf be asked the question earlier. How do you explain the fact that the SLAJ subvention they go up and the government commitment to the fund not the come?
Yeah,
that is. I'm very happy that SLAJ they get that money. I get my own questions around SLAJ taking money from government, but it's not my place now for can begin say they're not for because the executive find it useful. Okay, fine. I wouldn't, but if you find it useful, okay. But how do you explain, say, the subvention they go up, but the money not they can at the fund?
Where they benefit? Where
they benefit for? You ask that question the way Manika be denier, right? But then, so you can't plan these things around government. So we, the people in the media, la bo one word not like for you, stakeholder. You understand it? We the stakeholder there. For go back to the drawing board and say, how do we want to move this forward? We don't begin that conversation and with Dr. Soana, MRCG, and me and Yusuf.
Yeah, we don't get that conversation.
One to one, don't get that conversation there.
Yeah.
How do we move this forward? Move beyond waiting done or the today. Don't know. We all understand what's in the happen at the day. The funding precarious, right? Money not there again. The country that we use for give money, they look inward now. Some man they value insecurity now. Some man other priorities. Some people, and because of the politics at home, they cannot give more money overseas and all of that. So we now, how do we move this forward? How do we go back to the drawing board? Think, because one of the lessons then for me, now even the way where we design the funding stream for the fund, now for let government public interest public subsidy for public interest media. Now one of the fundamental philosophy the way underpin the way the fund design say government for put money, the public money for go towards public interest media.
We can look at, they get this model. Look, this 5% levy we've been talk about. We banned pool reports recently on rice. Government been only collect that money, but the percentage we go where they save na problem. Maybe we can look at something. We they pay license, we pay tax, right? We they pay tax, we they pay license to IMC, we they pay to NATCA, we they pay NRA tax, we they pay NACIT and all. But government say for local side and go pull that money.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. We need to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, we still want public subsidy. And me office say important for the public subsidy day for public interest media. Like Manika been say, government they fund all kinds of things. And you just don't say, will they pay license? Must for register newspaper now waiting. Say I say money the money boku na that make register. And not so kalo. The money really boku. You understand? Because we don't go through that process recently. You understand? So we need for now look at where do we get this money from? It is not the National Action Plan, by the way. So forget a percentage of government money where they come to waiting. But me not say that the amount will get a realistic and feasible. But we all need to go back now to the drawing board and say we need this for continue. How do we sustainably put money into this fund? And one way we can explore. Now, for let you get something legislated or let you get something written down so that one government know they come, President Bureau government can say, okay, me go give, we don't do this for years. They sort of end up give, then one other government come.
Say no important.
Then say no, me I don't give. What's you say you don't rights no side. So we get a proper funding modality. We go include where they guarantee public interest and public subsidy for public interest media. But then we also look beyond public subsidy and say, where else can we find money? Whose other ways that we will be able to find money for come into the fund for public interest media? Private sector, perfect. You have to be careful with that one day, obviously. But just look at different places them. Whose side the money they come out?
But I think private sector at some point, maybe license top up the MNOs, then they support the media a lot. But if you get the MNOs say this is now the taxes so they pay. Government is say okay from this tax so now they pay. They take 1% for myself. Yes, again fencer we put na an account where not so like the private sector they give it direct, but it's from something where then they pay for where government they take.
So that the guaranteed funding and they will need for type of figure out. How do we have guaranteed funding for the national fund for public interest media? And the states need for lead that conversation there as well, because we the media people and whether it's SLAJ now or the media owners and everybody else can come and say these are the ideas that we have. At the end of the day, we'll have to go back to government, the Ministry of Information, and say let us have a way forward. This money we wanna say they come, they come. You understand? And this money don't feel bad like the coming of Christ. We don't know when. All man they say they come, but we don't know who's there.
I'm sure the minister they listen to.
You understand?
It's not be like the
coming of Christ. The money they come, but we don't know who's there.
They are lots for come.
So you know the about this no more. Let us think about other ways, like all them ideas they are all talk about. So whether not through the telecoms companies and from different sources, them try for ring-fence some funding and get guaranteed funding where they go inside that funding every year.
So we not go say we go sit down where they run the media outlet, then we go compete for them and try for do better stuff.
And you're certain about it.
Exactly. But finally, Edward, in 1 minute, what thing you think say go be the role of the media in the 2028 leading to the 2028 election? No ask me if election will happen 2020. the election there.
But election for happen though.
Yeah.
Election for happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as always, the media is all very important. You know, when it comes to how we dey keep, you know, peace, cohesion, stability of the country. If the country they shake, nobody able to sit down. If you not able for sit down. So it is in our interest, all of us, for make sure say we promote peace, we promote cohesion. I mean, we still get for do a job for hold people accountable because you can use that also for blackmail. You say you job as media, you're a partner in development. I don't quite like that way they call it a framing day, but you're a partner in development. You know for they do this, you know for say this, you know for say that one day.
Yeah.
But I mean, in as much as we get responsibility for hold power to account, in as much as we get responsibility for make sure say the right thing is done, I think we also get responsibility for promote peace, promote cohesion, and one way for do that now for ensure say transparency then at the election, and at the media in job also for make sure say who shine the lights who supposed for shine them, and make sure say transparency then at the election, because when everybody see what's in the happen, you they able for correct them before it get to a point. Usai ala they come out.
Like what you get so right now.
Exactly. You understand? If we not get for go say, oh, they announce results, would they go hide us on side? Then how they decide whose media they come and whose media no they come for can announce results. And they begin create problem. They begin create suspicion around the whole thing. So I believe the role of the media very, very important. As we go to 2028, and I believe the election they happen.
Yeah.
How do you call it? Affirmation?
Affirmative action.
Say you make affirmation.
You make affirmation.
Happen. And also like you say, yeah. So I think and we roll very important. It starts from voter education.
Yeah.
You know, make sure say people understand what's in the process.
I think we don't allow the politician and for lead the process.
For lead the conversation.
Set the agenda.
Yeah, set the agenda. Sometimes we can wait till we don't reach election term. We begin prepare now and
I feel even before 2020, the media for begin do that.
Yeah.
Even for scrutinize one want for lead then
Thank you.
I can't tell you.
Because
last
for become a president of a country, not to pick a lodo. If everybody
so for begin play we role now.
Of course. I mean the role will play 2023, 2018, 2012. They change. For shed the light on the one that for now, me feel able to for do now. The one that we want for become president. I mean, let really look at them profile.
Yeah.
You want for lead your party, you want for do this, ABC, and now let we know about who are you. What you get for offer, what are your policies and for Sierra Leone? What are your policy on education? What are your policy on health? On environment?
How many will understand policy?
You have no business in the race.
So I mean, I see that I say, president work not to pick you.
Imagine for head an organization, but you want for lead a whole country, but you don't know what's in a policy. They have no business in that race. So for now, let's focus on the one that we want for lead the country.
The quality
after
of
President
people.
From both parties. The one that we don't show interest. Let them kind of talk to the people of Sierra Leone.
Exactly. Yeah.
What you want for do? What you want a vision? What you want dreams?
Yeah.
And also
the
institutions. We get a role for playing the election. The police, for example, ECSL, PPRC, the media. These are all critical institutions. The EMBs, election management board. Let's also report on them. Not to wait and say election, they no more. No. So a build up to 2028 now. So let's set the agenda. But if we allow no more, we see them. Now the point they can set the agenda. And say, hey, but let me get this issue. Now your agenda they can promote. But let we set the agenda and say that this direction we want the discussion for go.
I think SLAJ need for lead this, Guild of Newspaper Editors, the MRCG need for lead this. Me Edward don't get this conversation. Say this, there's no time where the media need for come together. We can get with different interests.
But for now, let's converge.
But for now we can converge and get a conversation. And we get say I go ask yourself, what you think say get for be role and how the online space as well get for be very, very important now in then conversation they all they get.
I go in line with what you ask me you say, because we can always say what you want for do, but let's go deeper and also ask how you intend for do it. Not for cancer we say you want to give it 24-hour light, how you intend for do it.
I like that.
Because a lot of people will give you flowery messaging, but then they don't get a clue. And also let's also look into the track record, like this person, if you know her for thief, if this person be not involved in any case, if in policy making, do background check. And also voter education, I think it's key. Now they talk about proportional representation, first past the post. How many people them really understand waiting and mean for even them, you know, especially the young population? How do they understand it? We talk about amendments bill in parliament, where people they talk about diaspora citizens. Waiting people understand about that. We need for focus on voter education now than where we get, because if we don't do the groundwork now, by the time we get to 2028, it's easy peasy in my own opinion.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thomas, you just believe say election they happen 2028.
Definitely,
exactly.
Say election they happen 2028. There is what is called the public sentinel rule of the media, where we for beginners, as we say, there what you call pre-election reporting, election reporting, and post-election reporting. We not get for just wait for the election. Now there are primaries. How transparent them primaries and they get for B, for example. How transparently the SLPP or the APC or any other political party select or elect the leader. We also get for
selection still there.
Well, I think selection don't remove her, but some form of consultation can take place. Then the media for also look at the caliber, not to character assassination, the character of people coming out to lead Sierra Leone. Are these the character of people who want, also who the media want, who the people they want? Now then character of people and they will want. You talk about the social media space where I think it get to be very influential in the election. In 2023 election, it was in the EU report, Adebayo. It was mentioned in the EU report as one of the contents that we create conflict. So for me, I think we also get to be very careful about online report. I'm happy that we don't come into the space. Professionals and don't come into this space, because sometimes those diasporans, when they talk about politics, they don't even understand how government, how the states they operate. So coming back to election, I think we get for look for people the way they ask me just about people the way sabi policy. Some politicians they don't know about policy. I listen to one when we interview. You know, they don't know about policy. If you don't know about policy, there is a problem. It's not I see people and they talk about language, but for me it's about policy. If you don't know what's in a policy, for example, the economy, how to run this economy, we get a very bad economy. Would they spend past how they generate? If they ask you about the economy, it's not about what you give to people. The economy is bigger than that. So for me, I think we get for be careful, assess the candidate pre-election, how they elect them. They'll get for going to post-election. This whole agenda setting thing, theories and non-challengers say not to media they set agenda. Sometimes I think the politician they want for talk, they call and salience transfer. Now they go say who they set agenda. But we actually get for begin for set the agenda.
And we for converge at this time.
Yes, we get for begin now. Things I think it's IGR they do when they can come with people's manifesto. They need. Things so people want for let happen. For begin for the talker now.
Waiting for be the conversation.
Waiting for be the conversation. Let not be that conversation of vulgarity will happen 2023. Then also we are with duty for monitor the electoral management bodies. Because election is about election integrity. I just watch recent Mo Ibrahim index on electoral democracy in Africa. We just come out it. It is a show Salon say Salon they slowly deteriorate in terms of democratic election. So for me, I think it's very important that we watch with electoral management bodies. This time around, let us force them. Or as media body, let us not listen like the last year they say, IRA not for calling result. It's not just, okay, IRA will not call result, but results will they get a website now. All the results will get that, will they post on it. Lifetime. So real result, when you know, real time, you go see the result for McKinney, for example, because this whole idea of it, that is segregated data. Let us say we get an independent institution, even the political parties themselves. For get a website where they input result from police station. The idea of rigging. Next session of rigging, say let me say a website, and let us also force neck. Apart from electoral laws, there is what we call access to information. In the access to information, they talk about proactive disclosure. Neck not for wait for let them tell you say for disclose election results, we go bring conflict. Una get a website, if una no want talk say una get a website, una put
and then we can go take a look. Yeah, we go do that.
So and after the election, we also get a role when for ensure say there is peace in the country. We get peace. if somebody disgruntled, let not say this time around and they go court, but they talk about electoral justice. There's only one this time who go get justice.
Now the court.
Now the court.
Yeah.
So if you say you don't go court, don't talk about electoral justice.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much, Dixon. Istina, finally.
Yeah, well, a lot of promises has been made. We all on talk now. A lot of promises from politicians, from the ones who made promises. Please, as media people, let we make sure so we hold them to them promises. Then they giving the people choice for make them know say, well, this one maybe they lie, maybe this one they not fulfill them. Let the younger one the way they vote for the first time know the difference. Let them know what's in and they go in for, because we all know now this country the party them where go stand, where they pull it. But let us try to go deeper than the surface. I don't see a lot of surface journalism because we just want for day in the business. Let's forget about just being in the business. Let's go inside and dig out, like promises them where they don't make. And then this public sector accountability. So when we elect, I know say most time when we elect new government, we get public servant the way they do. Most of the public servant them, some they need for left they work then they, because they're not a try.
We'll go discuss that the other time. Yeah, we'll discuss that the other time. Thank you so much. Say Akale, Thomas Dixon, Istina, because asked me and my very good friend as well. Edward, I want some coffee, but you say okay anyway. Thank you.
You know, give you the service coffee.
We'll go find lunch, but I think
Edward owe me coffee.
Yeah, but what is very important at this conversation are that we need for converge and get a conversation.
Sure.
We don't say as media we don't need for wait say the politician and can begin tell we waiting for do or somebody else lead we. This opportunity we'll get now where people can get preference for choose side and one choose for listen. But everybody they play your part and we don't regain trust and credibility. We need for build on them. We can pull with resources together. Money not the globally right now, but we can pull what you get human resource and the goodwill for doing
the stats.
Yes, now they
remember one thing also, I think say another thing we can do. Remember one day you go to me, we hear a very brilliant idea. Say we can do some cross production.
Yeah.
For example, AYV, SLBC, and two. We say okay, this week here so. Now they should like we discuss the issue. When you listen to Morning Coffee, now this is the area.
Yeah.
When you go to AYV, now the same. You go into Truth.
Yeah.
It is sync.
Yeah.
What they call thematic
impact. Yes.
You know, there's
impact,
nothing wrong. We
yes.
say okay, but this week here, Lama, AYV, and SLBC. But one look at the issues there. So we now get this guest, we get this guest. But now that thematic issue for a whole week. Come on, I go sync.
So with the challenge MICG, WIMSAL, Guild of Newspaper Editors, SLAJ on this, and hopefully we will get a meeting. Me and Edward on they talk about this. So we will share the ideas there and get a framework.
Also.
Yeah, the SLBC and get a framework and see how we go lead this. Because if we not do another person no go do, we go sit down and complain back. But now then this morning, so we'll meet back tomorrow. Have a lovely day. The hangouts we go for fan dinner. I go but thanks for my colleagues and we listeners and viewers. Have a lovely day.